Good morning and welcome to a fairly nippy Brands Hatch, but my goodness me, we're going to have some hot racing going on over the course of the weekend. Headlining here this weekend, of course, is the British Truck Racing Championship. Two divisions to be decided in very different formats, though. In Division 2, you've got Craig Reed, an incredible season. He can't really be caught, but mathematically, 5 races to go, 2 today, 3 tomorrow. He could clinch the title today. However, Division 1, oh my goodness me, 3 racers could take the title. You've got the 5-time reigning champion Ryan Smith, currently 4 points behind David Jenkins, an incredibly consistent season for him, and 1 point further adrift is the Team Oliver driver Martin Gibson. So 3 men up for the challenge, 5 races, 5 points separating them. It is going to go down to the wire this weekend. On top of that, we've got the Junior Saloon Car Championships. Charlie Hand already got one arm wrestled round the trophy, but with double points here at Brands Hatch, mathematically again, it is all still possible. You could get Harvey Caton, Alfie Jenkins, they are in that championship too. So stick with us. And then just for a little bit of fun, we've got the Classic Touring Car Racing Club raising a bit of money for our Orange Army here at Brands Hatch and of course across the UK. So grab the mic, grab the controller, disengage the doorbell, sit in front of that screen. The next 2 days is going to be absolutely electric. To talk us through the weekend, I'm going to head over to our British Motorsport Human Encyclopedia, Dave Goddard.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Ewan. Yes, good morning, ladies and gents, and welcome to Brands Hatch Race Circuit, the home of motorsport in the southeast of England, here on Bonfire Weekend. And my goodness, have we got some fireworks for you. The British Truck Racing Championship, their final weekend of the season, the championship decider in Divisions 1 and 2 are upon us. The big rigs, always very spectacular indeed, around the Brands Hatch Indy circuits, just over a mile in length, and we have got 5 cracking truck races for you over the course of the weekend. As Ewan's already told you, 2 races today and 3 tomorrow. 3 drivers separated by just 5 points at the top of the standings in Division 1, with 80 points the maximum score available, 15 points for a win and 1 for fastest lap in each race, plus with 5 races taking place, technically an 80 points maximum score available. Technically, mathematically, there are 6 drivers that could take the title, but it would need the top 3 to fail to score, really, for the others to have a chance. David Jenkins leads the points, 4 ahead of Ryan Smith, looking for his 6th consecutive title, Ryan Smith, this year, and Martin Gibson just a point behind, looking for his 1st title. In Division 2, meanwhile, a fabulous season for Craig Reed in the Iveco. He leads Stephen Powell by 50 points. Stephen, the reigning Division 2 champion, the man who lives just down the road from Brands Hatch. The title there is between those 2. Support comes this weekend from the Junior Saloon cars, 14 to 16-year-old racers in their identical Citroën Saxo VTRs. Double points on offer this weekend, so 50 points for a race win. There's I would think 3 drivers that can take the title there: Charlie Hand, Harvey Caton and Alfie Jenkins, but Charlie Hand, if you'll pardon the pun, with one hand already on the trophy, leads by 55 points coming into this final round of the year. We've also got racing today from the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. Whole variety of different saloon cars in action there. It's their end of season all-comers. The championships have already been decided. It's a fundraising event in aid of our Orange Army, the volunteer marshals that put in such sterling service at all our circuits around the UK, and to say thank you to them. The Classic Touring Car Racing Club competing in a couple of fundraising events this weekend. A whole variety of cars, including some special guest racers. One very special guest driver in particular we'll introduce to you later on in a very special car, along with a couple of similar machines, cars that you would certainly not expect to see in a motor race. So we'll bring you more info on that a little bit later on. We get underway very shortly with our first truck race of the day, then the British Truck Racing Championship over 15 minutes. That's followed by our Classic Touring Car Racing Club all-comers. That's a handicap race, so something a little bit different. And we're also joined tomorrow, incidentally, by the Carbonate Hyundai Coupe Cup as well for their final races of the season. Korea's finest out on track. The Brands Hatch Indy circuits, one of the shorter circuits in the UK. The shorter Indy circuit layout, not using the longer Grand Prix loop here today. Always very spectacular Indeed, natural amphitheatre. It's not until you walk around the Indy circuit here at Brands actually realise just how steep it is, especially down the first corner at Paddock Hill Bend and then up into Halewood Rise towards Druids. It is like a roller coaster, the first section of the lap here at Brands Hatch. I was able to walk this circuit recently. Overcast but dry and windy conditions here at Brands Hatch so far today. Not thankfully too cold here, but the trucks are certainly going to warm up the action. They'll be on the grid very shortly. Meanwhile, earlier on in the paddock, Ewan Dunlop caught up with a couple of the drivers.
So here we are then down in the paddock for the first time this week, and I'm joined by Division 2 leader Craig Reed. Craig, you've got a massive lead in the championship. I know it's not mathematically done yet, but you must be full of confidence.
I am, yeah, to be honest with you. It's like you say, it's very cold here though, I must be honest, and you could tell with the track's not coming alive, but to be honest, I am, like I say, I'm 50 points in the lead. I've just got to finish. The trouble is I like winning, so that's the problem.
You're right, you said all you've got to do really is finish these races. You've got 2 races today, 3 tomorrow. You could wrap it up today quite comfortably, couldn't you?
Yes, I could, yeah. To be fair, I'd like to do it today, just because then tomorrow I can relax. The problem with being at the front, you're being chased, aren't you? And I'll be honest, it's, like I say, the team this year, you all start feeling it, and like I say, I want to just thank my team, to be honest with you, because no one does that enough, to be honest with you, in the sport.
And first round of the championship, also here at Brands Hatch. You had a great weekend that week. I think it's 72 points first weekend of the year. Not as though you needed it, but that must give you confidence as well.
Yes, it does. Yeah. To be honest with you, that's it. Like I say, want to say about the truck coming alive on the track. That's the problem. Obviously, at the start of the year, it was quite warm. And we did testing yesterday. It was a bit of a washout because the ground was so cold. We just couldn't get any heat in the tyres, and it showed on everyone, even the Division 1 trucks, but no, I'm looking, confident this next race. The sun's coming out, so yeah, it should be good.
And the one big difference between round 1 and here is the crowds. Now, we've got a sellout tomorrow. How much fun is that for a driver?
Oh, amazing. To be honest with you, that's the thing about Brands Hatch. The atmosphere is electric. And then, obviously, because we have the fireworks at the end of Sunday, it just, I think it's one of the best, motorsport events that they have in the year, to be honest with you.
And just last question, a little bit of a question mark around about qualifying. We don't actually know where anybody really is at the moment.
Yeah, no, we don't. I was P1, and then basically I come round and my team in the pit said, the times have gone off, but the times have gone off on other drivers. So apparently up at Clark at the course, they're trying to sort it all out now. So I'm either going to be pole or not. That's it.
Craig, best of luck for the weekend. That's Division 2. Let's go and have a little look at Division 1. So we moved a little bit further around the paddock and now concentrating on Division number 1. I'm here with Martin Gibson, 3rd place in the championship. Craig Reed just told us it's cold. Martin's got his cup of tea out his hand here as well. First of all, tell us about your qualifying and then we'll move on to the championship questions.
Well, qualifying was a disaster, to be honest. Never got any clear space, and then once we got out there was a red flag and we just made a mess of it basically. So not a good result, but it's a long weekend.
However, I think the timing have made a mess of it as well, because there's a couple of people missing off the timing board. So do you know where you're starting on the grid yet?
No, I've no idea. I know I haven't done well anyway, regardless of the timing issue. So I've got a lot of work to do.
But it's a massive weekend. This is turning into a classic season for British truck racing. 5 points separating you and Dave Jenkins. You've got Ryan Smith in between the two of you. How exciting is that for a driver?
It's very good, but you have to remember there's 5 races to go, so anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, Saturday today, is it more about looking after the truck, or are you just going for as many points as possible?
It's a bit of a challenge, and it's in your head. You've got to keep it steady and get some good results all through the weekend, but you also want to do as well as possible. I mean, if you go for the win and have an accident, you've lost all your points, so it's tough, to be honest. Now,
talking about accidents, for those that didn't see it in qualifying, what happened to your teammate Stuart Oliver's truck out there? Because it's had a bit of damage. We saw them trying to sort of bend the axles or the chassis back into place. What happened?
Well, Mark Taylor entered the track and for some reason spun it on entry to the track and then rolled back down, because the hill's quite steep, isn't it? Rolled back down the hill. I snuck past and unfortunately collected Stuart. It was a bit silly, to be honest.
Is Stuart going to be racing? Is that going to be okay?
Oh, yeah. I think Stuart would race if there was 3 wheels on the truck, so he'll be there.
Martin, good luck for the weekend. We'll be talking to you throughout it. And let's move a little bit further down the paddock, get our second and first place people in Division number 1. And we've moved along the paddock now with 5-time reigning champion Ryan Smith. He is 4 points behind David Jenkins. We'll speak to David shortly, but first, Ryan, great season so far? Is it a different kind of season for you? You're used to winning.
It's different because we've done something different. We've designed our own engine with a guy in Holland, and fundamentally everybody knows what happened at Donington. It blew up, lost 50 points. 50 points in this championship with the 15, 14, 13, 12 format is massive. So to get back to 4 points, I think it's been a better season than you can imagine, to be fair. So we've closed the gap to 4 points. We've just gone out in qualifying and put it on pole. The target for the weekend is win the first race and get the fastest lap, which is another 2 points. So, you know, it's step by step. Anything can happen. It's exciting for the spectators.
Incredibly fine margins. And let's just talk about Pembrey, because you've just told me you've got an appeal going on, which is potentially 2 more points.
There's an appeal going on now with the stewards of the course, with an overtake on another competitor. Win or lose, don't really change anything. But you know, the appeal process is there. We've decided to use it. We think we're in the right. You know, the clerk of the course made his decision. He didn't. So the stewards all make the decision probably today. So, yeah, really exciting. And with or without that, you know, I'm going to try my best. I'm the 5 times consecutive champion. I want to be 6 times. But you can't take nothing away from Martin Gibson, Dave Jenkins and what the other people have done this year also. But it's not been the best year for us, but we're still in the fight. So what more can we ask for? I
mean, in terms of, you mentioned the crowds there, it's going to be a big, big crowd this weekend. And such fine margins, it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, and I hope that's what it is, because I hope it is fun for everyone. And I hope everyone plays fair with each other, myself included, and I hope the people who's paid a lot of money to come and watch us get the spectacle they deserve. They'll be getting 110% effort from me, that's for sure. So, but we're going to be clean, we're going to be respectful, win or lose. If somebody else wins the championship, we'll be the first to congratulate them, and what's going to be is going to be.
Okay, good to hear from a couple of the drivers there. The trucks are on the grid, ready for our first race. Here is the lineup. In pole position it is the man we've just heard from, Ryan Smith, number 1 in the Mercedes Actros. Alongside him, despite that damage from qualifying, number 7, Stuart Oliver. He did do a time good enough for second place in a couple of laps he did. Second row, number 69, David Jenkins, and number 18, John Newell in their MANs. Row 3, number 11, Martin Gibson, and 46, the youngest man in the championship, Bradley Smith. Row 4, number 86, Tom O'Rourke, and 33, Steve Thomas. Row 5, 81, Mark Taylor, and number 92, newcomer this year, made his debut at Pembrey in the last round, Simon Faulkner with his Iveco. Then there's a gap, and we've got the less powerful Division 2 trucks. They're headed up by number 32, Jock Borthwick from Scotland, alongside the Volvo White Aerodyne of number 5, Adam Bintz. Craig Reed, the champion-elect, some would say, in Division 2, starts on the second row in the Iveco, alongside number 41, local man Simon Cole with the Mercedes Beast, as it's known. Then we have got number 45, Tony Smith, father of Bradley Smith, alongside 50, Willem Breidik is next on the grid, our Dutch visitor. Next is number 3, Stephen Powell. He won't be happy with 7th on the grid in his division. He's fighting with Craig Reed for the title, alongside him number 10, Craig Evans. And the final row of the grid, number 99, Paul McCumiskey, Paddy Mack as he's known, with his older Volvo, and number 16, Brad Smith, not to be confused with Bradley Smith, will complete the grid. Now, there is one change by the look of it. We haven't got, or have we? No, Simon Faulkner is at the back of the Division 2 trucks, I noticed there. The other truck that's there on the grid behind Mark Taylor, number 81, is a reserve, because there is a maximum grid capacity here at Brands Hatch of 20 trucks. We have got 21 here this weekend. The other truck that's set time in qualifying is that of number 17, Shane Brereton, and he is there on the grid. Martin Gibson is just making his way round, so he's late out onto the grid. That's probably why Brereton is there, because if anybody drops out prior to the race starting, Shane Brereton's in as the reserve. if everybody does grid up and we have the full 20, then Shane Brereton will have to sit it out. That's how it works. So whether Martin Gibson's had a last minute issue here, he is making his way to the grid. He may have to start at the back of Division 1, or is he making his way into the pit lane? He is. Oh, this could be crucial for the championship, because Martin Gibson may not be taking the start here. Yeah, he's pulling into the paddock. He's got a problem. Our first drama of the weekend, so Martin Gibson in trouble. We'll try and find out from Ewan Dunlop down in pit lane when we can what's happened there. But his championship rivals, as you can see, are both on the grid. Ryan Smith, the defending 5-time champion in the Mercedes Actros, liveried like a Mercedes Formula 1 car, is on pole position. He's done so well to fight back into championship contention, because he's had a lot of mechanical problems with that new truck for this year, the Mercedes built by Norbert Kiss, the Hungarian driver for the European Championship. Good to see that Stuart Oliver alongside him in the Volvo VNL, the bonneted American-style truck there. That picked up damage, as we heard, in qualifying collision with Mark Taylor. So Martin Gibson in pit lane. So it looks as though Shane Brereton is going to get a race here, possibly in the number 17. He's at the back of Division 1. Simon Faulkner, because he's a novice, is starting right at the back behind the Division 2 trucks. So it's a rolling start, 15 minutes, and already we've got one of our championship contenders in trouble. Here's Division 2. Jock Borthwick alongside Adam Bint in the Volvo Whites. Craig Reed in the red Iveco. There's Tony Smith, father of Bradley. There's Stephen Powell. He's a long way back on the grid. There's Shane Brereton. Looks like he is going to get a race after all, in as the reserve. So Ryan Smith and David Jenkins, trucks numbers 1 and 69, probably the two to watch here. They are big rivals. Stuart Oliver, of course, a 10-time British champion. Looks like Paul McCumiskey's not there, but his Volvo quite often doesn't get past qualifying anyway, sadly. So we're missing a couple from qualifying. Ready for our first race of the day then, here at Brands Hatch for the British Truck Racing Championships final weekend of the year. Ryan Smith and Stuart Oliver on the front row, but Martin Gibson with problems. He's pulled into the pit lane already. David Jenkins on the second row alongside John Newell. Jock Borthwick and Adam Bint head up Division 2, where Craig Reed and Stephen Powell will be fighting for the championship. It is time to go racing here at Brands Hatch. The revs beginning to rise. The pace truck is in pit lane. Ryan Smith and Stuart Oliver lead them up towards the red lights. When they go out, the power will come on and we will be ready to rumble here on the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. The lights go out and away we go. Good start by Ryan Smith down towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Stuart Oliver slots in behind. Good start by John Newell in the blue, number 18 on the outside, but David Jenkins holds the inside line. Division 1 have got round okay. The flag waves to start Division 2. Jock Borthwick, the Scotsman, leads the way. Good start by Craig Reed, the championship leader on the inside in truck number 68. They make it round Paddock Hill Bend. Everybody's got round okay for the first time. Simon Faulkner, our newcomer, at the back in number 92. Down towards Graham Hill Bend for the first time come our leaders. Ryan Smith from a sideways Stuart Oliver. Division 2 barrel their way through Druids Hill Bend, the 180-degree right-hander. Everybody's round okay so far on this first lap. David Jenkins in third place, Newell fourth. Tom O'Rourke's got away well. He's up in the fifth. Stuart Oliver gets a wheel onto the grass there on the inside of Surtees corner. They head into McLaren, then the long right-hander at Clearways, into the final corner at Clark Curve, back onto the Sir Jack Brabham straights to complete the opening lap. And it is Ryan Smith with a clear lead. Jock Borthwick leads Division 2 from Bint. Simon Cole in the pink Team Hard supported Mercedes is up to third, and a great start by Stephen Powell. He's got ahead of Craig Reed. That's a great start by Powell. Then we've got Tony Smith. Next is Willem Bredek, the Dutchman, and Brad Smith's going well too in the number 16. He's had a lot of mechanical problems with his Dutch-built DAF this year. David Jenkins on the tail of Stuart Oliver for second place. Newell fourth, O'Rourke fifth, Taylor's up to sixth. Bradley Smith, the young gun, is seventh. Steve Thomas is eighth. Bit of smoke there from Simon Faulkner at the back of the field, and David Jenkins is not hanging about. He's pushing Stuart Oliver. He wants to get up with Ryan Smith to continue the fight for the championship. He wants Stuart Oliver out of his way. Oliver down in 6th place in the points. Stuart Oliver, 10 times a British and 1-time European champion, will not give way easily. This is good racing. And look at the way Ryan Smith's going. He's checked out in front in the Mercedes. Volvo in 2nd place of Stuart Oliver. 3rd place is David Jenkins. 4th, John Newell. And Adam Bint. And we've got a red flag. The red flag has come out. We've lost somebody somewhere. Now, what has happened? We'll wait and find out. We must have lost somebody somewhere around that 2nd lap. I haven't seen any incidents about. Oh, there's the problem. Shane Brereton's in the gravel. Now that, I think, is on the run up towards Druids. Well, he got in the race as a reserve when a couple of trucks didn't take the start. Yes, he's gone off on the exit of paddock through the gravel there and is up against the barrier on the run up Halewood Rise into Druids Hill Bend. So the red flag comes out. That truck will be recovered, and then we will have to restart. So we have our first stoppage of the weekend. Shane Brereton, you can see he's gone wide through the gravel there into the end of the tyre wall. That's why those tyres are there. Need more than Apollo tyres to put that right. Shane Brereton, who began his career on the short ovals in National Hot Rods before moving into truck racing via the Pickup Truck Racing Championship, and here comes the heavy artillery to pluck that MAN out of the gravel. So the trucks stopped on the grid, the race trucks that is, and they will be re-gridded for a restart. Ryan Smith will be disappointed with that because he was well clear already. You can see on the right of your screen there the show trucks on display here this weekend. There's always a big truck show here on Bonfire Weekend at Brands Hatch. The big firework display will end the weekend here tomorrow. And there is Shane Brereton. He's found a nice neat parking place, hasn't he? Now we need to find out as well what happened to Martin Gibson, because he's one of our championship contenders. The points situation in Division 1, David Jenkins leads on 319 points, Ryan Smith is on 315 and Martin Gibson 314. Behind them, John Newell is on 277, Mark Taylor 270 and Stuart Oliver on 250. So technically those three are mathematically still in with a chance of the title, but only if David Jenkins, Ryan Smith and Martin Gibson all really score 0, and I really can't see that happening. So if Martin Gibson is unable to take the restart, he will get a 0 here. I'll be trying my best to update the points in the commentary box as best I can as we go through the weekend. Although given my mathematical skills, that's possibly not the best idea. So the recovery vehicles, H&A Truck Assistance and LJ Transportation's recovery vehicles there. Now, how are we going to get Shane Brereton out of the gravel, they're thinking? This heavy-duty recovery vehicle, that's how. You can watch the recovery operation here. Thank you to our recovery teams and volunteer marshals as always. We couldn't go racing without them. We get a chance to see their skills in action here. Those of you asking in the comments on our stream about the smoke and steam coming from the front wheels of the trucks, they do have water-cooled brakes, so it's just the water turning into steam under heavy braking. So it's nothing, anything wrong with the trucks, it's just the water-cooled brakes. Try and see a replay of what happened to Shane Brereton there. There's Ryan Smith, the leader. If you look in the background, we just about see, yes, he just runs out wide through towards the tyre wall and wallop straight in he goes. Shane Brereton. He only got in at the last second in this race and he departed early on as well. Tow rope is in position, as you can see, on the the Heavy Haul Limited.com recovery vehicle there. And now the towing operation will get underway. Well, while this recovery operation is in progress, Ewan Dunlop, our race interviewer, caught up with a couple of more drivers in the paddock earlier this morning. We can hear from them now.
The first round of the championship, you had 3 wins here at Brands Hatch. If you didn't need it already, that must give you loads of confidence going into today.
Well, in theory, I've been fastest everywhere all year. Just the truck has let us down a little bit, and ourselves as well, not being up to keeping on top of it. But no, the main characteristics behind it is the track's different from the beginning of the year. It's colder, it's a lot more slippy, so we've adjusted to them that style a little bit better at the moment in quali. The gap was quite big for a small circuit. Hopefully it stays like that all weekend. But as you say, it's racing, there's 5 races, a lot could happen, reverse grid. All I can say, it's going to be fireworks off track, it's going to be fireworks on track, and the crowd should really look forward to what's going to happen.
And final one, Brands Hatch, it's not built for truck racing really, is it? So what is the key to winning around this circuit?
I think for other drivers, probably consistency, but for me, it's always maximum effort. I want to overtake everyone. I don't want to finish second. I want to try my best, and it's just putting the truck in the right position. And obviously, it's throttle control, because the faster you press the throttle, the more wheel spin you get, the slower you are. So, combination of many different things. There's some real talent in this paddock. You know, Truck Sport Promotions have put a lot of effort in. MSV should be proud of what they will always bring. The sellout crowd, they've locked the gates. The spectacle's good. I'm going to be looking to be one of the entertainers. Hopefully we come out on the top.
And one final observation. New suit, you've lost a stone. Is that about marginal gains, trying to lose a little bit of weight in the truck?
You know what, it just gives you more energy and you want to be healthier. And I think we're in a world now where we're trying to eat healthier and stuff. And, you know, next year is a big year for us. We want to get fit. We want to be a little bit better commercially. All my interviews haven't been amazingly professional, but we build to be better and we grow as a person. And on and off track, we have to keep to the same. And for how fast I am on track sometimes, I still want to be faster, same as the other competitors. So, lot still to learn, but thoroughly excited for the weekend.
Ryan, we love speaking to you, buddy. Great luck for the weekend. Okay, let's go and have a chat with Championship leader David Jenkins. And finally then we got our Championship leader in Division 1, David Jenkins, leading the Championship by 4 points currently. David, where's your... It's 4?
5.
It's 4.
Oh.
It's 5. It's 5 over Martin Gibson. It's 4 over Ryan Smith, because he gained a point because Bradley Smith was demoted from Division 1 to Division 2 at Pembrey, and he's potentially got 2 more points coming after an appeal as well. So regardless, it is ridiculously razor thin. I'm aware you didn't know about the appeal there, but does that affect anything? Where's your mind at the moment?
No. We're just going to go racing and do the best we can all weekend, and then we'll see how the points add up.
Dad, you got a biscuit here?
Thank you very much.
Tell us about your qualifying, because it was a really strange qualifying, wasn't it, with the red flag, and I know at the end you had about 90 seconds to get back out on the track. Can you talk as a driver from your point of view? How was it for you?
Yeah, qualifying was going to be important. It was a balancing act between getting some tyre temperature into it straight away and then not waiting too long to go, because with the track temperature and the trucks that are not leaking, but the trucks that are distributing water from the brakes, the 2 slowest parts of the track, so the exit of Druids and the apex at Clearways there, they become cold and wet, and so the track deteriorates very fast. So you really needed to get some tyre temperature in on lap 1 and get your lap in on lap 2. And unfortunately I got a lock up into Graham Hill on lap 2, so I didn't optimise the lap.
And now, the last time I looked at the qualifying, they weren't actually official yet. I think there's a little problem with the timing. Do you know where you're starting on the grid yet?
Just as you came over now, the qualifying's just come out now. And in answer to your question about the second part of the qualifying session, if you like, it was all done completely as it should have been done. There was 90 seconds left on the clock. They restarted the session. Stuart hadn't been able to take part in the first start of qualifying, got out in the front of the queue. He went from a standing start, managed to cross the line inside that 90 seconds or whatever there was, and he was the only one that was able to start a lap before the checker came out. And because the track was just that little bit drier, and because there was nobody on the track, he was able to just pip us to P2, which isn't a bad thing really, because we're inside row 2 starting for Brands Hatch Race 1, so we're happy.
Now, Brands Hatch, world famous racetrack, how much fun is it as a driver to go around this in a truck?
I said yesterday, often we come to testing and we do a few laps and we make sure everything's all right, and then that's that. But yesterday I drove round and round and round, and they said, what were you doing? I said, I was enjoying myself. I was actually smiling about what we were doing yesterday, so that was great.
And is today going to be fun, or is today serious?
No, it's all got to be fun, hasn't it? I think once you start losing the values about why we're here, then you might as well give up then, haven't you? So there's a lot at stake, isn't there? But it just, we need to keep smiling, we need to race clean and race fair and race hard, and we'll see how the points add up at the end of the weekend.
Fantastic. Dave, best of luck. We're going to be speaking to you throughout the weekend. So for now, let's go to the man who's going to be talking you through our first race and across the entire 2 days here at Brands Hatch, commentator Dave Goddard.
Okay, thanks Ewan. As we can see, Shane Brereton is out of the gravel and his truck's going to be able to drive back to the paddock. Just some damage to the front bodywork there of the number 17 MAN. The marshals will sweep the gravel away, and the JCB just putting the tyre barrier back into place. Now, we've had some news through from the pit lane on Martin Gibson as well. He's had a myriad of problems with the MAN, unfortunately. He had the alternator go in qualifying, so he's had to change that. And now can't get all his gears. He's having gear selection problems and has had to change some fuses as well. So all sorts of problems for poor Martin Gibson, who really has been the find of this year. Only a relative newcomer to truck racing. We can see the team down here, Stuart Oliver's team, look after the GT Tyres sponsored MAN. Frantic work going on down there. Hopefully we can hear from Martin if we get a chance. See what's going on there. Looks like the truck has fired up there. We can see a little bit of smoke. Well, one driver who will possibly be pleased to see a restart is Craig Reed, because he'd already lost out to Stephen Powell, who'd made a flying start. Stephen Powell, by contrast, won't be happy to see the grid having to line up again, because he got ahead of his championship rival now. Martin Gibson trying to move the truck away there, but whether he'll be able to take the restart here, I'm not sure, because he wasn't in the first start. But it is a complete restart over 15, is it 15 minutes? Let's check the timing screen. No, a 10-minute restart. So whether we'll see Martin Gibson out or not, I am not certain. So we'll just wait and see what happens here with the number 11 MAN. Last few bits of work taking place here. Still struggling to find his gears there, I think. You can see he's trying to pull away. Times like this you wish the mechanics had microphones. Martin, as we say, third in Division 1, 5 points off the championship lead coming into this. Heard from our other championship, all our championship contenders prior to this race. It's great that we have a capacity grid here this weekend, including our Netherlands visitor. Great to see Willem Bredek has been able to make the journey over. We've got Tom O'Rourke and Jock Borthwick who've made the journey down from Scotland. Contrast that with Stephen Powell, who lives literally just along the road from Brands Hatch. Tyre wall has been rebuilt, that is great to see. There's still frantic work going on the Martin Gibson MAN. A lot of shouting going on, we can see there. Unfortunately, we can't hear what the mechanics are saying down there. hopefully get an update as and when we can from our interviewer Ewan Dunlop down in pit road. Now the MAN is moving off. Now is he going to join the grid or is he going back to the paddock? Let's see. Now it looks like he is heading round to the grid. And he would be able to take his place if allowed, because of course Shane Brereton is not taking the starts. Just before we get this race underway, we've had a message come in to wish a happy 40th birthday to Carol Gosling from her husband Stuart. So many happy returns to you, Carol, if you're watching. Do send in any messages if you want a shout out here today as well. So the track cleaning crew heading off track, and here comes Martin Gibson. It looks like he is going to take his place, so well done to his mechanics. He struck lucky with this restart. Let's hope the MAN holds out. Now is he going to head to the grid or is he going back into the pit lane? Has he got the gears working fully now on his MAN? Here he comes, and he is heading to the grid. So we've got our 3 championship contenders in Division 1 out there. Now I would imagine, is he going to take his place alongside Bradley Smith there? Yes, the marshal signalling him into place, so Martin Gibson, talk about a last minute job, is going to take his place. Well done to the Team Oliver mechanics. We don't have Shane Brereton. We do have Simon Faulkner, but as a novice driver, he starts from the very back behind Division 2. It's only his second ever truck race meeting. And the only other truck we're missing is Paul McCumsky, who, sadly, his Volvo has once again let him down after qualifying. Such a shame for Paddy Mack, as he's known, great entertainer, veteran truck racer. I think, sadly, he has done 1 racing lap all season. Great shame for him. The pace truck, a DAF supplied by the Bint Racing team, Adam Bint in the black Volvo on the front of the Division 2 grid. Right then, take 2 with truck race number 1 of the weekend. Over 10 minutes, a slightly reduced distance because of the red flag. Martin Gibson is out there. So we've got our 3 championship contenders all lined up line astern, 1st, 3rd and 5th on the grid. Division 2 title contenders. Craig Reed 3rd on the grid, Stephen Powell only 7th, but he got a flyer at the start of the first race start of race number 1. Jock Borthwick in the white and tartan liveried MAN. Looks a bit like the old Stewart Grand Prix cars, doesn't it? Sun coming out here at Brands Hatch. There's Bradley Smith, number 46. Great to see him up in Division 1. Started off in Division 2 this year. To see his father Tony back racing alongside him as well. No relation, incidentally, to Ryan Smith, or indeed to the other Brad Smith at the back of the field. One's Bradley, one's Brad, just to avoid confusion. There's Brad, the Unity-sponsored DAF at the back of the grid. Ready for a second attempt with truck race number 1 of the weekend here at Brands Hatch for the British Truck Racing Championships title decider. Ryan Smith and Stuart Oliver on the front row of the grid for Division 1. David Jenkins, John Newell and Martin Gibson next up. Jock Borthwick and Adam Bint head up Division 2 further back with title contenders Craig Reed and Stephen Powell 3rd and 7th on their grid. This will be a 10-minute race. Pace truck into pit lane. Ryan Smith in the Mercedes Actros looking to make the break from pole position once again, just as he did on the first start before the red flags came out for Shane Brereton going off at Paddock Hill Bend, waiting for the red lights to go out, and here we go. Down towards Paddock Hill Bend they go once again. Great start once more by Ryan Smith. David Jenkins having a look up the inside of Stuart Oliver. Side by side for 4th place. A little bit of rubbing there between John Newell and Martin Gibson there. They'll be side by side into Druids. It's Ryan Smith who leads the way. Division 2 are underway. Jock Borthwick will lead them off. A fair bit of steam and smoke from Simon Cole there as he gets underway. They're all round Paddock Hill Bend by the look of it okay for the first time. Simon Faulkner at the back in the number 92. It's Jock Borthwick who leads Division 2 ahead of Adam Bint, Craig Reed and Simon Cole. There's Stephen Powell looking to catch Craig Reed side by side with Tony Smith in the number 45. Leaders come through Surtees and McLaren. It's Ryan Smith already starting to make the break once again, almost a carbon copy of the first running in Division 1. There's Steve Thomas, the man from Birmingham, in the number 33 MAN. It's Ryan Smith who will lead over the line for the first time. Second place, it is Stuart Oliver. Third for David Jenkins as they head over the line. Like everybody's round okay on the first lap in Division 1. Ryan Smith with a clear lead. Leads by 1.4 seconds at the end of lap number 1 at the moment. Just waiting for the timing screen to sort itself out. To head over the line then. Your leader there is Jock Borthwick ahead of Adam Bint. Craig Reed having a go up on the outside. Oh, he's lost some bodywork there, Craig Reed. There's been a bit of contact possibly in there somewhere. Simon Cole behind him, then Stephen Powell, Tony Smith, Craig Evans, Willem Bredick, Brad Smith, number 16, and Simon Faulkner right at the back and sideways there. Adam Bint, always a flamboyant racer in that classic Volvo white. Here comes Craig Reed. This will allow him to challenge that loss of momentum for Adam Bint, allowing Craig Reed, the man from Stoke, to have a look up the inside. No, you don't, says Adam Bint. Takes the line for McLaren and into Clearways. Side panel missing off Craig Reed's number 68 Iveco. Now he goes to the inside. There's contact with Adam Bint. Bint goes sideways. Craig Reed gets through on the inside up into second place, and the Mercedes of Simon Cole is going to try and follow through into third place as well. He's got the inside for Paddock Hill Bend, and he'll go through into third place in Division 2. Ryan Smith leads by nearly 3 seconds now over Stuart Oliver in Division 1. David Jenkins third, Newell fourth, Gibson is fifth, and Steve Thomas is behind them. O'Rourke, Taylor and Bradley Smith round out the 9 battlers in Division 1. Division 2 fight their way through Druids. Newell under fire now from Gibson. He wants to get up with his fellow championship contenders. Martin Gibson goes out a bit wide though at Clearways there. 33 of Steve Thomas, comeback man this year, on his tail. He's going to have a look as they go down towards Paddock Hill Bend this time. Just under 7 minutes of this race to go. Side by side behind as well between a couple of the MANs. Gibson holds that 5th position. David Jenkins has got away from Stuart Oliver meanwhile into second place. So it's Smith from Jenkins. Looking at their lap times, Smith still lapping a couple of seconds quicker than David Jenkins, but now Jenkins has escaped from Stuart Oliver. He can go after Ryan Smith at the front of the field. Oliver in the Volvo in third, then it's John Newell. He's going for third down Cooper Straight towards Surtees. He goes straight through. John Newell up into third position overall and in Division 1. Stuart Oliver's got a problem, I think. He's dropping back. He's gone behind Gibson and Steve Thomas as well. So I think Stuart Oliver's in trouble with the number 7 truck. That's a great shame for the 10 times champion. Is he heading for the pits here, I wonder? Well, that's John Newell up into third place now, chased by Martin Gibson. This will help Gibson in the number 11. The lead is over 5 seconds now for Ryan Smith, and Stuart Oliver, as I expected, has pulled into the pit lane. There's David Jenkins on his own in second place now. His gap over John Newell is nearly 5 seconds. Then Gibson, Thomas and O'Rourke. Division 2 meanwhile is still led by Jock Borthwick ahead of Craig Reed now up into second. Simon Cole is third. Adam Bint dropped down the order as a result of that contact with Craig Reed coming through Clearways a couple of laps ago. Main battle in Division 1 now is for third place between John Newell, Martin Gibson and Steve Thomas. Then a small gap back to Tom O'Rourke, who's next in the order. Now Martin Gibson needs to get past John Newell here. He needs to try and keep the pace with his fellow championship contenders. There's a point for fastest lap as well in each division, and Division 1 that's currently with Ryan Smith with a 58.945. In Division 2 it's currently with Craig Reed, 1 minute 1.457. We've lost Stuart Oliver. He has retired the number 7 Volvo, possibly a legacy of that damage from qualifying. Here's Brad Smith, number 16, the Unity Recovery DAF, being chased by 45 Tony Smith. There's Craig Evans, number 10, number 50 Willem Bredik, the Flying Dutchman. Here comes Tony Smith having a look on the back of the number 16 of Brad Smith. These two battling for 14th place overall. Willem Bredik challenging Craig Reed. There's the leaders in Division 2. Craig Reed has almost caught race leader Jock Borthwick. Up the hill goes Tony Smith in pursuit of the number 16 of Brad Smith in the DAF. They're closing on Adam Bint as well. Craig Evans, Willem Bredik and Simon Faulkner round out the field. Ryan Smith leads by 5.3 seconds. Newell a further 6.4 seconds back on David Jenkins. So they're fairly well strung out towards the front of the field. Willem Bredik now challenging Tony Smith. Ryan Smith is running away at the front, trying to keep his challenge alive for a 6th consecutive Division 1 title, while Craig Reed looking for his first Division 2 title. There is Ryan Smith through clearways. Just over 3 minutes to go in this first race of the weekend, the British Truck Racing Championship here on the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. Over the line he goes. See what lead he's got here over David Jenkins. You can see it visually there. 5.9 seconds is the lead gap. Now here comes the train for 3rd place. John Newell, Martin Gibson and Steve Thomas, who's running well in the number 33. Over the line they come. Gibson half a second behind John Newell. The next group headed by Tom O'Rourke, but it's Mark Taylor and Bradley Smith. Rounds out the 8 runners to the front in Division 1. Of course, we've got Simon Faulkner at the tail of the field, just learning his craft, only his 2nd truck race meeting. Martin Gibson a little bit sideways there, coming out of Druids, and he's under pressure now from Steve Thomas. This is the last thing that Martin Gibson wants. He wants to be up there with the 2 at the front fighting for the championship. Still leading Division 2 is Jock Borthwick in number 32, ahead of Craig Reed, but by less than half a second now, so it may not be long before Craig Reed is making a move for the Division 2 lead. Fight for 3rd goes on between John Newell, Martin Gibson and Steve Thomas. Here's the leaders in Division 2. Borthwick from Reed. Simon Cole in the Mercedes still going well. We haven't seen too much of the Mercedes beast so far this year. He's up there in 3rd. Stephen Powell only 4th in Division 2, so this is all playing into the hands of Craig Reed. Brad Smith is next, then Adam Bint, Tony Smith, Craig Evans, Willem Bredik and Simon Faulkner, who's soon going to be lapped, such is the pace of Ryan Smith. Down the hill comes the battle for 3rd in Division 1. Newell from Gibson and Thomas. It's a good run by John Newell, a brand new truck built for this year. Martin Gibson, a relative newcomer to truck racing, races in the Fun Cup Endurance Championship as well. John Newell actually pulls away a little bit on this lap into 3rd place. Here's a battle towards the back, and Ryan Smith has got to make his way through this lot, but there's only 40 seconds on the clock, so it should be checkered flag this time, such is the storming pace of the Mercedes Actros. Simon Faulkner ahead of him, and off goes Willem Bredik. The Dutchman slides onto the grass. He was lucky not to spin into the side of Ryan Smith there. I've heard of moving out of the way to let the leader through, but Willem Bredik took it to extremes there. Ryan Smith laps Simon Faulkner. Is it going to be checkered flag this time? I would think so. It's going to be a perfect start for Ryan Smith. He's going to take the win, and by the look of it, the fastest lap as well. He's in a 58.945 as the quickest lap of the race. Here he comes up to the line, and the challenge is on for the Division 2 lead. The checkered flag has come out. Ryan Smith has won it. So 15 points plus a point for fastest lap for Ryan Smith. We'll concentrate on Division 2 though. There are the leaders down the Cooper Straight. Is Jock Borthwick going to hang on? Craig Reed's all over the back of Jock Borthwick here. He's looking left and right. Here they come into Surtees and McLaren. Can Jock Borthwick hang on? Here's Craig Reed going to snatches as they come up towards the line. 2 races in 1 we've had here. Ryan Smith dominated Division 1. Who is going to take Division 2? Craig Reed's going to have to go up the outside. Jock Borthwick defending the inside line. He's going to hang on to take the win. He moves across and Jock Borthwick wins Division 2 just ahead of Craig Reed by 0.26 of a second. Simon Cole third in Division 2. Third in Division 1 was John Newell ahead of Martin Gibson. So we'll work out during the lunch break what that does to the points. Brad Smith over the line. We'll confirm the results shortly. Adam Bint will just beat Tony Smith home. Craig Reed frustrated there by a good drive by Jock Borthwick to pick up the win in Division 2. And of course we have the reverse grid formats for the next race taking place later on. The top 8 finishers in each division are reversed on the grid from that one. So that means that pole position in Division 1 should be Bradley Smith. And what about Division 2? It should be Craig Evans on pole. We'll confirm that later on. We'll also do a bit of mathematics and work out the points for you. We'll confirm the provisional results of that one then. First place for Ryan Smith, winning by 6 seconds ahead of David Jenkins. And it was John Newell who took third, some 7 seconds further back. Just behind him was Martin Gibson. Not the best start to his weekend in terms of the championship. Steve Thomas a good 5th ahead of Tom O'Rourke. Then Mark Taylor 7th, Bradley Smith a good 8th place. Then we got the Division 2s. 9th overall was Jock Borthwick, just holding off Craig Reed by 0.26 of a second to win Division 2. Simon Cole 3rd in that division and Stephen Powell 4th. Brad Smith takes 5th in Division 2 ahead of Adam Bint and Tony Smith. Outside the top 15 overall, we had Craig Evans and Simon Faulkner. Willem Bredick dropping to the back with that excursion at Graham Hill Bend on the last lap. Stuart Oliver dropped out, and of course we lost Shane Brereton on the first start into the gravel. Paul McCumsky, meanwhile, didn't take the start. Okay, shortly then, down in Parc Fermé, we will hear, hopefully, from our race winners in both divisions. And I'll do my mathematics to try and work out the points. Just got to work out who got the fastest lap in Division 2 there. Fastest lap point in Division 2 goes to Craig Reed. 16 points there for Ryan Smith and 14 for David Jenkins. So Jenkins leads the championship by just 2 points after that race. We'll work out the rest of it. Well, really is fun for all the family here at Brands Hatch this weekend. All the fun of the fair at trackside. We've got the show trucks on display as well. Of course, a big firework display taking place after tomorrow's racing as well. And Darkness Falls. Next up on track here today, after the lunch break, we are going to be seeing the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. Saloon cars of all ages, shapes and sizes in that division. That's taking place at about 1:20, so about an hour's lunch break coming up now. After that, we've got the Junior Saloon Car Championship. The teenage racers in their Citroen Saxos battling for glory. It's their final weekend in the championship, and then we've got another truck race coming up for you later on today. And that concludes today's racing. Full programme of racing coming up tomorrow. We're also joined by the Carbonate Hyundai Coupe Cup taking place tomorrow as well. Their final race of the season. Okay, unfortunately we can't pick up our interviews with the race winners at the moment. We'll catch up with them a little later on. Slight technical hitch down there in pit lane, so apologies for that. Well, we're into lunch break now, which will take about an hour, so we'll join you back on air a bit later on. And during the lunch break we will have some highlights from some racing from earlier this season from the British Truck Racing Championships. We're back live at Brands Hatch in about an hour's time. Meantime, I need to go and do some mathematics and work out what that race has done to the points situation in the British Truck Racing Championship. By my calculations, the gap between David Jenkins and Ryan Smith is now 2 points at the top. We'll confirm that all being well after the lunch break, which takes place now for about an hour. We'll see you back on air here at Brands Hatch a little later on.
Hello and welcome to Red Bank Corner here at Donington for your first British Truck Racing Championship race of the weekend. I'm of course Pointy, and we do welcome you. The weather at the moment is looking pretty good. We had some showers earlier on this morning, but hopefully the track has had a few more races on it since then, and the surface has started to dry up a bit. We can see as we look across Red Bank now a huge number of spectators, which is absolutely lovely to see. A lot of people making the effort to come out and see some great British motorsport this weekend. That's enough from me. I'll head back to Dave in the studio now and let's see what happens. The first race here at Donington.
Right, here is the grid then for the first truck race of the day, and it's Martin Gibson, number 11, who has set pole position with his MAN alongside number 69 David Jenkins. John Newell's new MAN, the race winner at Thruxton a few weeks ago, on the second row alongside number 1 Ryan Smith, the 5-time consecutive champion with his new Mercedes Actros. Row 3, number 7 Stuart Oliver, 10 times champion alongside returnee number 33 Steve Thomas. And on row 4, number 81 Mark Taylor and 86 Tom O'Rourke. Completing the Division 1 runners is number 157 Jonathan Willis, newcomer this year with his MAN. Then there's a gap, and we've got the Division 2 runners, and it's number 32, Jock Borthwick from Scotland, who's set a surprise and welcome pole position. His first season as a truck racer. He's on pole alongside championship leader 68 Craig Reed. Second row in Division 2, number 5 Adam Bint with the Volvo Whites, and 41 Simon Cole with his Team Hard Mercedes. The third row, number 3 Stephen Powell, and number 12 Michael Oliver, son of Stuart, in his Scania. Next on the grid, 46 Bradley Smith and number 16 Brad Smith. Commentator's nightmare there. 16 Brad and 46 Bradley is how we tell them apart. Then row 11, we've got number 10 Craig Evans and 6 of John Powell. Appeared at Brands Hatch at the start of the season, I think. No, that was Brad Smith. Apologies. John Powell is on his first appearance of the season. And Paddy Mack, number 99 Paul McCumsky, in his Volvo, rounds out the grid of 20 trucks.
In terms of where they stand, Craig Reed as well.
Pace truck leads them round. He will pull off into the pit lane, and then we will be ready to rumble. This is going to be a cracker, the first of 5 truck races here at Donington Park at Convoy in the Park 2021, celebrating all things trucking at the home of motorsport in the Midlands. The pace truck is into the pit lane. When the red lights go out, we will be underway. David Jenkins on the outside, Martin Gibson on the inside. Away we go. The first truck race of the weekend is underway. Down towards Redgate Corner for the first time. Martin Gibson holding the inside line. He'll just about try and hold the lead there. David Jenkins trying to go round the outside in truck number 69. The two MANs together. There's a little bit of rubbing there. Somebody running wide. That's 86 of Tom O'Rourke over the curb. It looks like they are all going to get round Redgate for the first time. Down to the Craner curves, and Jenkins has got the lead around the outside from Martin Gibson. Third is John Newell. Ryan Smith in the Mercedes in fourth ahead of Stuart Oliver. They swing their way into the old hairpin. One truck dropping back a little at the back. That's Paul McCumsky in his Volvo. Brad Smith side by side with Stephen Powell in the midfield. But it's David Jenkins who leads the way, the man from Stafford in truck number 69. Car racing comes later. Jenkins from Martin Gibson. John Newell in third. Not the easiest of circuits for the big rigs to overtake on here at Donington. They go past the infield paddock there, full of show trucks on display. We'll have some truck parades on the circuit over the course of the weekend. Through Coppice onto the exhibition straights, down towards the Roberts chicane for the first time. This is where things can get interesting. Tight chicane, this one, the right, then the left. Jenkins from Gibson Newell, Smith, Stuart Oliver, Steve Thomas, Mark Taylor, and the Division 2 trucks you can see keeping up with Division 1. It's Jock Borthwick who's got the early lead there. Stephen Powell trying to make a move on Brad Smith. They've been side by side for the whole of the first lap. Jenkins leads by 1 second ahead of Martin Gibson in the GT Tyres MAN. It's MAN's 1, 2 and 3. Then we've got Ryan Smith in his Mercedes, the man going for a 6th consecutive British title in 4th position. Then the Volvo of Stuart Oliver. Gap back to Steve Thomas next then. Mark Taylor, Tom O'Rourke. I think we've had a change there for 9th. Yes, Jock Borthwick, the Division 2 leader, I think has got ahead of Jonathan Willis. Then Craig Reed in the red Iveco. And then we've got Michael Oliver in his Scania number 12, the blue and white machine. Along the bottom of the course, where the bridge used to go across the circuit, the old bridge here at Donington as they come out of the old hairpin. The leaders are up at McLean's. Nice, steady start to the weekend. There is Mark Taylor, number 81. Started his life in truck racing as a sponsor for Ryan Smith before deciding to take up the sport for himself. Division 1 trucks coming down to the chicane for the second time, and David Jenkins starting to pull away slightly in his MAN. Martin Gibson in second. Ryan Smith is biding his time at the moment in 4th, looking to launch an attack when he can. Down the straight they come. 2 laps completed. Fastest lap of the race for David Jenkins, 1:26.761. He's increased his lead by just a couple of tenths of a second. Oh, a little bit sideways there, a bit late on the brakes into Redgate for Jenks there. He's gathered it up again. That's going to allow Martin Gibson to close in slightly. And a big cloud of smoke there. A blow up for Brad Smith, number 16. Bit of flame there as well. He's pulled onto the Melbourne loop out of harm's way. Very much out of the race there. Brad Smith, the Unity recovery truck, and Paddy Mack is slowing up as well. That's Paul McCumsky with his Volvo. Truck racing veteran in the number 99. So no change among the leaders so far. Going to gap back to number 81 of Mark Taylor. Steve Thomas, sorry, is next, then Mark Taylor. Then it's Tom O'Rourke before we've got Jock Borthwick, the Division 2 leader. Well, I think Jonathan Willis in the more powerful 157 truck has got back ahead of him now. Martin Gibson defending here from John Newell for that second place. Jenkins still leads, just under 9 minutes of this race to go. The lead gap is still 0.6 of a second. John Newell 0.3 back in 3rd place, and then Ryan Smith is 2 seconds off the lead, 1 second off Newell. Battle is on for 6th place, with Steve Thomas being caught now by Mark Taylor for 6th position. Is Paul McCumsky still running at the back? Don't think he is. So they've lost him, Simon Cole and Brad Smith. 17 trucks still running though. Here's the first 3 of them. Through McLean's. Leader getting away very slightly. There's Steve Thomas in the number 33, half yellow, half white. Reverse livery of Stephen Powell's truck. Chased by Mark Taylor in number 81. That's the battle for 6th place overall, 6th in Division 1. Down towards the Robert chicane once again, and the 3 leaders almost line astern now. Ryan Smith looking on from behind. A slightly subdued start to the day for Ryan Smith. Watch for John Newell here. He's got a run on the inside coming down into Redgate. He has to move back across because Gibson moves to defend into Redgate corner, the first corner on this Donington circuit, and Gibson has held that 2nd place, but Newell looking pretty determined here. The number 18, the man from near Barnsley in South Yorkshire. Tom O'Rourke in trouble. He's pulled up. That's on the run into Coppice, the MV Commercial MAN. Here comes the 2nd place battle, and John Newell has got through, up into 2nd on the entry to the Craner Curves there. Ryan Smith in 4th place. Good to hear from Pointy giving us some of his points of view from trackside there up at Redgate, enjoying the action. The first 3 have pulled away quite considerably. Oh, we've got a spinner there. That's Stephen Powell. Now, I wonder if there's been some contact there, because there was a bit of bodywork missing from the left front corner of the number 3 MAN. That's lost Stephen Powell a couple of places. I wonder if there was contact with Adam Bint, because those 2 were battling. Try and pick up Binty's truck when we can, see if there's any damage to that. Tom O'Rourke out of his truck, out of the race at Coppice. Here's the battle for the lead in Division 2. Jock Borthwick is being reeled in now by Craig Reed, and Craig is lapping a few tenths of a second faster in his Iveco, looking to keep his championship lead, looking for his first title. Here come the leaders. David Jenkins still leads up. Simon Cole's back out in the Team Hard Mercedes Beast. Let's hope he doesn't get in the way of our race leaders here. You can see Jenkins has pulled away a little bit. There's a bit of bodywork in the middle of the road there. That's probably from Stephen Powell's truck. Jenkins is going to have to lap the number 41 Mercedes here. Simon Cole, the man from Dartford in Kent, not giving way there at Redgate. I don't think he's realised the leader's there. He will do now. Here's Jenks up the inside, and a little bit of is that smoke or steam from John Newell's truck? He's lost second place. I think John Newell's got a problem. He's lost second place there to Martin Gibson. Oh, and the battle in Division 2 coming to a head, and Craig Reed's lost it. He's going to go round. Round he goes, mind the pit wall. Nice recovery by Craig Reed, a full 360. Michael Oliver avoids him there in the number 12 and gets through. That's for second in Division 2. Goodness me, a scary moment there for Craig Reed as he attacked into the chicane on the back of Jock Borthwick. The truck came around on him, he got onto the grass. Full 360 and he was able to save it, luckily. We've got just over 2 minutes of this race to go, so it's looking good for David Jenkins. But has John Newell got a problem here? Where's the battle in Division 2? Michael Oliver trying to hunt down Jock Borthwick for the lead. Can he take a win on his comeback? The number 12 Scania there. Here are the leaders. Jenkins clear of Martin Gibson now. Oh, we got somebody off. That's Stuart Oliver. Stuart Oliver is in the gravel. Now, where's that? I think that's at McLean's. Yes, he's gone straight on there. I don't think he's got as far as the tyre wall. The gravel has arrested the progress of that truck. And Ryan Smith's up to third. Yeah, it looks like we've lost John Newell. There's Newell. He has got a problem, and I think he's coming into the pits. That's smoke from the engine of John Newell's MAN. It is a new truck for this year. So John Newell is going to be heading pitwards, I think. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. That's because of Stuart Oliver off. He's trying to get going again. He's creating smoke. Goodness me. Stuart Oliver looking more like a steam locomotive heading along the outside of McLean's there. I don't know if he'll get going again. So that's going to put Ryan Smith up into third. Steve Thomas will be in fourth. And look at this, John Powell charging down the inside of Adam Bint there. The DAF gets past the Volvo into the chicane. There he is, number 5 Adam Bint, the Oxfordshire driver. Gets back ahead of John Powell in the blue number 6 DAF LF. First time we've seen John in action this year. This is a battle for 4th in Division 2 and 11th place overall now. So the order is now Jenkins, Gibson, Ryan Smith, Steve Thomas, Mark Taylor is up to 5th. It's Jonathan Willis in 6th overall, number 157, the ex-Hot Rod racer on the short ovals, as we heard from Pointy. Then we have got Jock Borthwick. This is the battle for the lead in Division 2, excuse me. There's the two Mercedes together. Ryan Smith a lap ahead of, well, a couple of laps ahead of Simon Cole, because he's been into the pits. And now the battle for the lead is joined. We're going into the last lap, and here comes Martin Gibson. The clock is counting down to 0, so it will be checkered flag this time around. Can David Jenkins hang on ahead of Martin Gibson? They're well clear of Ryan Smith. I wonder if everything's all right with that Mercedes, you know. Ryan Smith is a long way back, 9.5 seconds back on our leaders. There he is. I reckon there's something amiss with that Mercedes, you know. He's not on the pace at all here. Here come the leaders. Down into the old hairpin. Looks as though David Jenkins may well have done enough ahead of the GT Tyres MAN of Martin Gibson. But it's a race of attrition behind. Jock Borthwick is heading for his maiden win in Division 2 in his first season of truck racing, because Michael Oliver has got his mirrors full of Iveco. Craig Reed is going for second place, recovering after his spin when he tried to take the lead. Here they come into Coppice. Is Martin Gibson going to make a move here then as they come into the Robert chicane for the last time? I don't think he's going to be able to. He's not going to be close enough. Our first winner of the weekend here at Convoy in the Park is going to be David Jenkins in truck number 69. There is the checkered flag, and Jenkins in the Digraph Transport Morris Lubricants MAN takes the win. Martin Gibson comes over in second in the GT Tyres MAN, and they are well clear of the championship leader, Flying Ryan Smith, who will take third place. Here comes number 32, the MV Commercials backed MAN of Jock Borthwick. He's going to be heading for his first victory in Division 2. Michael Oliver and Craig Reed bearing down on him. I don't think they're going to catch him here. Here they come into the chicane for the last time. Jock Borthwick from Hoyk in the south of Scotland is heading for victory. Michael Oliver trying to hang on for second place on his return to racing after a couple of years away. Jock Borthwick slides out of the chicane for his first ever Division 2 victory. Well done, Jock Borthwick. A win for Scotland. Michael Oliver second, just ahead of the recovered Craig Reed after his spin a couple of laps from home. We'll have the results confirmed then of truck race number 1. David Jenkins, your race winner, completing 11 laps in a time of 16:13.599, just under a second clear of Martin Gibson. Well back in third and struggling, it seemed, in the closing stage. He lost a lot of time in the last few laps. Ryan Smith in third, then Steve Thomas on his return taking fourth. Mark Taylor was fifth, and Jonathan Willis a fine sixth, the newcomer this season in his MAN. Jock Borthwick, a first ever Division 2 win for him. Well done to the Scotsman in seventh overall. Michael Oliver on his return, eighth in the Scania. Ninth for Craig Reed, recovering from a spin, and Adam Bint rounded out the top 10 in the black Volvo. Stephen and John Powell 11th and 12th, then Bradley Smith in 13th place, and the final finisher was Craig Evans. We lost John Newell as we saw into the pits while on for a podium place in the number 18 MAN. Behind him would have been Stuart Oliver. We lost him into the gravel up at McLean's, that was. Simon Cole was still running at the finish, but a few laps behind, so we'll wait to see if he's going to be classified. We also lost Tom O'Rourke. Brad Smith, number 16, suffered what looked like an engine blow-up, and Paul McCumsky was also an early casualty. Paddy Mack in the number 99, the older Volvo FM12.
All right, and with the two winners, Division 2 and Division 1, two very, very happy gentlemen, two very, very wet gentlemen as well. Chuck, we'll start with you. Congratulations on the Division 2 win. Point you mentioned in the presentation there, it's been a little bit of time coming, improving every week. How do you feel?
Great, fantastic. We've had a journey between problems, teething problems, building the truck. Dave's helped us no end with the truck, and just great to get that result. Good, loved it.
And how special is it to have a presentation in front of quite a few people, get a bit of champagne on you as well? Missed that, haven't we?
Yeah, it's that long since I don't know how to open the champagne bottle. But I'll learn.
I'm sure you will. Dave, if we can bring you in, congratulations. We spoke to you before the race. You said the mission at the start of the weekend was five wins. 1 out of 5, not bad going so far.
Yeah, we don't want to get too cocky yet, do we? But that was really great. It was great racing with Martin in turn 1, and then, we had some good speed at the start of the race. Had a couple of fairly big moments on some oil that was down, and 2 big saves, one in Redgate halfway through the race, and one on the way into the chicane at the end of the race. But no, we were all right. It was obviously tough luck for some of the people around me, but we need to take our good luck when we can.
Yeah, John Newell and Martin Gibson kept you honest for a lot of that, didn't they?
They did, yeah, but we had enough pace to drive away from them. So, I'm sure it's going to be a long, long, tough weekend, but the best way to start. So, we're great. We're so happy to be back here racing at Donington Park in front of the live audience. And I'd like to dedicate this win to all the dads in the world, especially mine, because it's been 2 years since he's been to see us. So, brilliant. And I've got my family here supporting me. I've got my engineer here. He's got his family here supporting me. So, we're so happy to be back and back where we belong.
Well, we saw you up there with the kids as well, Dave. I know it means a lot to you. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much.
Trucks coming up to the rolling start then. Race number 2 of the weekend, over 12 minutes. Jonathan Willis and Mark Taylor on the front row of the grid in their MAN. Steve Thomas and Ryan Smith on row 2. No Stuart Oliver after problems in race 1. We're also missing Brad Smith and Paul McCumsky, although he may be starting from the pit lane. We'll wait and see. This will be a 12-minute race for the British Truck Racing Association Championship on a slippery track here at Convoy in the Park 2021 at Donington Park. Away they go, and a super start from row 2 by flying Ryan Smith in the Mercedes. He's going to try and slot in on the outside into the first third. He's not got the room there though. Jonathan Willis in the Dawson Direct MAN. Oh, he's gone straight on there. He's been caught out by the wet track. I think there's been some contact further back there between John Powell and Adam Bint. They come together on the outside. Trucks going everywhere on that first corner. It's 81, Mark Taylor has taken the lead here. John Powell involved there with Adam Bint. I think we may have lost Jonathan Willis there as well. Yeah, he's got going again. Powell rejoins at the back. It's Mark Taylor that leads. Ryan Smith in second. Martin Gibson's come through already into third place. Steve Thomas is fourth. Paddy Mack has joined in from the pit lane, number 99 in his Volvo. He's at the back of the field. Simon Cole's back out as well. We are missing Brad Smith, number 16, and we're also missing Stuart Oliver. Problems for him in race 1. Start to sort themselves out then around the first lap. There's Jonathan Willis. He slid wide on the first corner in the Dawson Direct MAN. His first season in truck racing, a bit different to short oval hot rods, but he certainly acquitted himself well. There's Steve Thomas, so welcome back to him, the other Birmingham-based driver here at Donington today. 3 more races coming from the trucks tomorrow, and Ryan Smith is attacking for the lead. He got the better exit from Coppice corner there. He's up alongside Mark Taylor, number 81, and surely the Mercedes Actros is going to take the lead here on the inside. Yes, he's done so into the chicane. Third place is Martin Gibson. Then we've got Steve Thomas. David Jenkins, the race 1 winner, is up into 5th position. And 86 of Tom O'Rourke. Then we've got John Newell, and the Division 2 leader is Jock Borthwick, but I think he's slowing there, coming off the chicane slightly. As he know, he's okay now. Craig Evans is up to 2nd in Division 2. He's going well. And Bradley Smith, number 46, in 3rd. So a bit of a sort out. Oh, and a bit of bodywork that's come off somebody there. I think that was off either Stephen Powell or Steve Thomas's truck there. Sideways there. Look at that, Mark Taylor. I think he's planning to enter the truck drifting out in the Fueltopia arena next to the circuit with sideways action like that. He could lose out here to Martin Gibson. Tries to defend the line. Then it's Thomas, Jenkins, and the rest of them. There's your Division 2 leader, number 32, Jock Borthwick, who's come through from the back of their grid already. It's Ryan Smith who leads the way, the 5-time Division 1 champion. Followed by Mark Taylor up there in 2nd place. Bit of a lock up there from Mark Taylor. Under fire from Martin Gibson in the number 11 GT tyres MAN. It's a good run by Craig Evans, number 10. His first full season in British truck racing. He's 3rd in the Division 2 points. More through consistency as Michael Oliver locks up, hits the back of Stephen Powell, goes over the gravel. Is he going to recover it there? Sideways off the chicane. Simon Cole trying to get involved as well in the Mercedes. Slip and slide their way round. Borthwick still leads Division 2. Adam Bint, I wonder where he'd gone. He stopped in the pit lane exit there, the black number 5. He's out of the race. And again, Mark Taylor drifting his way down the Craner curves. It looks spectacular, but it's not helping his lap times. And Martin Gibson's right there on his tail. Through the old hairpin they come. Ryan Smith going clear, and Martin Gibson did get through into 2nd place there. 4th place is Steve Thomas, then it's David Jenkins. Tom O'Rourke up there in 6th position. So Martin Gibson now going after our race leader, just as he did to David Jenkins in race 1. This time, though, it's Ryan Smith out in front. Here come the leaders down the exhibition straight. Martin Gibson has closed in on Ryan Smith here. This is a good run by the Warwickshire-based driver. Mark Taylor still 3rd ahead of Steve Thomas, David Jenkins, John Newell. Jenkins a little bit wide there into the chicane. O'Rourke behind them, and then Borthwick. Very impressive here, the Division 2 leader, keeping up with the tail of the Division 1 pack. John Newell up alongside Tom O'Rourke. He won't get through, though, because the yellow light is on there. That's no passing in this zone. For safety reasons. Borthwick's away and gone at the front of Division 2. Looking down at the timing there, he's nearly 9 seconds up on Craig Reed. This is sensational from Borthwick. Martin Gibson, meanwhile, all over the back of Ryan Smith now. He did another fastest lap of the race, 1:38.475 last time through. That's nearly a second quicker than Ryan Smith. Is he still having gremlins with that Mercedes, I wonder? He didn't seem happy in race 1. He slowed over the last couple of laps and dropped back in 3rd place, Ryan Smith. And now he's having to defend from Martin Gibson. Up the outside, yeah, Ryan Smith's got a problem. He's slow coming out of McLean's. I thought he was having trouble there, and his gremlins have struck again. Martin Gibson takes the lead. Well, this is rare indeed. It is not often we see Ryan Smith hit trouble. He's dropping down the order there. Second place is now Mark Taylor in the 81, and Steve Thomas up in 3rd. Ryan Smith in real trouble. He's going to have to try and make it back to the pits. He may not even make it that far. I can't remember the last time I saw Ryan Smith fail to finish a race, but he is out of this one. So Steve Thomas up to 3rd, Jenkins is 4th, and Tom O'Rourke up into 5th place. He's going well. As I say that, he gets a bit sideways at the chicane ahead of John Newell there. Then we've got Jock Borthwick. This is a great run by Borthwick. He's keeping up with the Division 1 still here. John Newell draws alongside, gets ahead of Tom O'Rourke there. Here's a battle further back between Simon Cole, John Powell, and behind them Jonathan Willis. First time he's raced a truck in the West, just getting used to his very smart Dawson Direct MAN. His father Dave and brother Andrew, also short oval racers in hot rods for many years. Swing their way through the old hairpin, the leaders. And the red flags are coming out, we're told. The red flag is coming out, I suspect. Yes, it's because of Ryan Smith being parked up. He's parked on the inside of Coppice, couldn't get the truck any further. So the red flag comes out. Of course, no such thing as safety cars in truck racing. It is a red flag if there is a problem. So the race is going to be stopped. There were 2 minutes 50 seconds left on the clock. I suspect that's going to be a declared result. A provisional result then. Win for Martin Gibson by 2.3 seconds ahead of Mark Taylor, with Steve Thomas in 3rd. David Jenkins, the Race 1 winner, in 4th, ahead of John Newell and Tom O'Rourke. Jock Borthwick, the Division 2 winner, way ahead of Craig Reed. And then Craig Evans, a fine 3rd in that division, ahead of Bradley Smith and Stephen Powell, a quiet race for him. Michael Oliver next, ahead of Simon Cole. John Powell recovering from a spin on the first corner. Jonathan Willis completing the finish as we lost Ryan Smith, Adam Bint and Paul McCumiskey.
Yeah, you join us down in Parc Ferme. Martin Gibson, 2nd and a 1st on the weekend back at Donington. You've got to be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, I love these conditions. It's just makes it really interesting and mixes it all up. There's a lot going on out there, but happy to bring it back.
Was it what you expected out there? Because obviously we've seen the rain pour at Donington for the last few hours. It's dried up a little bit. No one really knew what we were going to get, but what was it like compared to what you expected it to be?
I expected it to be really slippy and really wet, but it was actually quite grippy. When you went offline, then you knew about it, but no, it was a lot better than expected.
And talk me through the race as well, because as you say, thrills and spills as there always is in the trucks, but you've ended up on top in the end. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I just making my way through. I got a lot of places on the first lap, and unfortunate for Ryan, it looks like he's had a problem, but it's a shame. We could have had a good race. Cheers, bud.
And there's the big boss in to say congratulations. It's been a fantastic weekend for you already. Still 3 races to come tomorrow. Forecast doesn't look like it's going to change. You must be feeling so confident.
Yeah, feeling good. We want more results to bring one of Stu's trucks back in this position again, so let's do it.
I wish you all the very best luck for tomorrow. Congrats on a fantastic Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome back down to Parc Ferme. We've got the winner of Division 2 with me, Jock Borthwick. 2nd time lucky after you put it on the first place in the first race, taken off you, but this time you made absolutely no mistake. Congratulations. How does that one feel?
Great. I mean, the track was slippy, tricky. Truck was good. Just steady away, get the traction where you can, and just get the thing home. I
can imagine that wasn't the easiest task though with conditions like that.
No, definitely no. And I'm just learning 3rd meeting at it, and it just getting the whole grip level and how it handles.
And what's it been like? You mentioned their 3rd ever meeting. It's I'd imagine every single meeting you feel like you've learned an encyclopedia's worth of knowledge to take on to the next one. What's the process been like for you?
It's huge learning, but we've had a load of turbo problems in teeth. We've just built the truck, getting teething problems. Out testing on Thursday, I got 6 laps, done the turbo again. So Dave Jenkins went away back and got a van load of turbos at his shed, and we made a turbo up on Friday and fitted it, and it's a Scania turbo running just now. Got a bit of lag on it, but with these conditions it's maybe okay because it's just torquing away. So I'm just glad to get a finish and finish some races.
And what does it mean to you to get first place on the podium? Because obviously, as you say, not been doing it a huge amount of time, but to get a win must feel absolutely amazing.
Fantastic, yeah. I just got the break there, got away, got up through the middle at the start, into the first corner, a couple of boys run wide, I kept it in tight, and then just tagged onto the back of the Group 1 boys and tried to run with them for a little bit, so it just keeps you focused on it's not falling asleep.
Well, a big congratulations on the win. Get your first place hat and champagne again, and hopefully you keep this one this time.
Thanks very much, appreciate it.
Yes, the reason that Jock Borthwick's first win was taken off in there, we didn't get the notification through until that second race was underway, unfortunately. He got a 10-second penalty for jumping the start in race 1. So Jock Borthwick was penalised 10 seconds on his race time, and that put him down to third behind Michael Oliver and Craig Regan. The big rig's ready to rock and roll and rumble then here at Donington Park. 15 minutes of racing from the British Truck Racing Championship. Race 3 of the weekend here at Donington Park. Jonathan Willis on pole, John Newell alongside, David Jenkins looking for his second win of the weekend, as is Martin Gibson in the black and yellow MAN. Jock Borthwick and Michael Oliver are winners so far in Division 2. Here we go then, the pace truck pulls into pit lane. Waiting for the red lights to go out. They do so, the power comes on, and here we go. Watch for Ryan Smith trying to get down the outside in the Mercedes from the back of the Division 1 grid. It's Jonathan Willis on the inside, side by side with John Newell. Will try and get round the outside into the first corner. John Powell's got the advantage in the DAF as they go, as Division 2 go into the first corner. We've got a collision further back. That's Mark Taylor involved. Who's that facing the wrong way? Is that Ryan Smith that's gone in there? Now, what has happened there? We've got David Jenkins. It is Smith who's been hit. Oh my goodness, look at the state of the Mercedes. Disaster for Ryan Smith, the reigning champion. There's broken suspension there. David Jenkins has got going again. Smith, I think, was hit by Mark Taylor, number 81. It was either Taylor or Tom O'Rourke, and David Jenkins with a lot of damage as well. So a number of the favourites involved there in Division 1. So with Ryan Smith's truck standing there, that is surely going to be a race stoppage, with Ryan Smith stuck at red gates. There's damage there to David Jenkins, who's trying to limp it back round into the pits. It's John Newell who's got the lead ahead of Jonathan Willis and Tom O'Rourke. So it was Mark Taylor involved, but surely they're going to have to stop the race. Yes, the red flag is coming out because Ryan Smith's truck is stranded there. Now, is his suspension broken? I don't think he's able to get going again there. He's having a terrible weekend, Ryan Smith. We heard he had electrical problems yesterday. Second attempt then with our first race of the day for the British Truck Racing Championship here at Convoy in the Park at Donington Park. This will be a 15-minute race. Jonathan Willis and John Newell head the Division 1 trucks. Second row, Tom O'Rourke and David Jenkins. Watch for Ryan Smith in the Mercedes. Jenkins and Smith involved in the first corner tangle with Mark Taylor at the first attempt. They're okay to continue. No Taylor on track. Division 2 are headed up by John Powell and Simon Cole. Pace truck will pull into pit lane then. 15 minutes of racing to come. Here we go then up towards the red lights. Ready for take 2 with British Truck Racing Championship. Race number 3 of the weekend. Away they go. Here we go, down towards Redgate Corner for the first time. John Newell's made a good start, so has Ryan Smith up the outside. It's Newell who's got the lead into the first corner. Jonathan Willis holding second on the inside, side by side between Jenkins and O'Rourke for third place. Ryan Smith goes out wide over the curb. It's John Powell who leads in the number 6 DAF in Division 2. Craig Evans dropping to the back in number 10. Down the Craner curves. John Newell, the Yorkshireman, leads in truck number 18 with his new MAN. Willis has held second place, and it's Tom O'Rourke from Scotland in third in the number 86 MAN. Daff from Scania from Mercedes in Division 2. Fourth in Division 2, the defending champion Stephen Powell, the man from Kent. Along the bottom of the circuit they go then. Michael Oliver running well in Division 2 in the Scania, but it's Newell who leads the early stages from Jonathan Willis. Ryan Smith on the tail of his rival for several years now, David Jenkins. David, a former champion. Chased by Ryan Smith, looking for title number 6 in a row this year. Steve Thomas behind them, returning after a couple of years away in his MAN there. He's got Martin Gibson all over his tail. Winner in the second race yesterday. It was David Jenkins who took race 1. Down into the chicane they come. John Newell with the lead. Ryan Smith dodging all over the tail of Jenkins there. Martin Gibson making the move on Steve Thomas. He's got through into 6th position. Over the line they come then. John Newell with a lead of just over a second ahead of Jonathan Willis in second. Good run here by the Birmingham-based driver, the newcomer to truck racing this year in number 157. Tom O'Rourke in third. We've got just under 10 minutes of this race to go. There's the Division 2 battlers. There's Stephen Powell, almost the reverse livery of that on Steve Thomas's truck, his MAN, the yellow and white halves. So here come the leaders. We see Michael Oliver leading Division 2 in the background there under the bridge. And into the pits has come Simon Cole, so he's had a problem with the Mercedes. Had a retirement yesterday as well. David Jenkins still defending from Ryan Smith, and they're being closed down by Martin Gibson. Let's hope those electrical gremlins don't return for Ryan Smith that he suffered yesterday. Failed to finish the second race. I can't remember the last time before that Ryan Smith had a retirement. The new Mercedes Actros, built in Hungary by European Truck Racing Championship star Norbert Kiss. There's John Powell going well second in Division 2, his first appearance of the season. Jock Borthwick is up to third now as David Jenkins up the inside is going to take Tom O'Rourke as they come through Starkey's and Schwantz Curve. Good move by David Jenkins. He's up into third place. Let's see if he can hold it as they come up to McLean's. Yes, he has, and Smith's got through as well. And now Tom O'Rourke defending, trying to defend from Martin Gibson. They're absolutely side by side as they go up towards Coppice. A spectacular sight there as they barrel their way into the right-hander. O'Rourke trying to hold the inside. Now Jenkins under fire from Smith. He's got to defend into the chicane here. Ryan Smith trying to get alongside the 5-time British champion in the Mercedes Actros. Jenkins defends. Now Smith moving back towards the inside. No, you don't, says David Jenkins. Tom O'Rourke still side by side with Gibson. They've been side by side for half a lap. Just lost that bit of momentum coming out of the old hairpin. He's forced wide over the curbs there by Martin Gibson, who goes through and up into 5th position. This is allowing Steve Thomas to close up as well in the 33. John Newell still leads ahead of Jonathan Willis. The gap just over 2 seconds now, and they're 5.5 seconds clear of this scrap between Jenkins and Smith. O'Rourke's lost 3 places down into 6th position. Here's a battle in Division 2. Craig Reed alongside Jock Borthwick. He gets through, forces him wide over the curbs. Borthwick nearly loses it. Steve Powell says thanks very much, I'll go through as well. And so does Bradley Smith in the 46. All change on this lap then. Still your leader is John Newell ahead of Jonathan Willis, and they'll be hoping that the rest of them continue fighting each other behind and they're able to pull away. Borthwick back up the inside, retakes Bradley Smith in the Iveco. Bradley's father, Tony Smith, raced in this series for a number of years. He raced at a Finnish-built Sisu truck a few years ago, I remember. Up alongside David Jenkins once again goes Ryan Smith, but he'll be on the outside for the right-hander at Coppice. Jenkins sticking rigidly to the racing line in his MAN. 6 minutes 20 seconds remaining. Smith tries to go for the inside again, down to the chicane, but Jenkins just not leaving him the room there. So it's good defensive driving by David Jenkins. Of course, it is letting Newell and Willis get away at the front. New fastest lap for John Newell that time through, 1:27.559. Willis over the line in second. He's dropped back from John Newell now. 4.7 seconds is the gap. Here comes Smith and Jenkins. They're soon going to be on the tail of Jonathan Willis for second place, I think. They've got Martin Gibson closing them down. This is a good run by Martin Gibson. Had a win yesterday in race 2. Here come the leaders. You can see John Newell has pulled away now in the number 18, looking for win number 2 for his new MAN. Had a win at Thruxton earlier this year, down in Hampshire. David Jenkins defends again. determined not to let Ryan Smith pass. 4.5 minutes to go. Here comes Martin Gibson. He's got a run on Smith and possibly Jenkins as well. Look at Martin Gibson. Great exit from the chicane. He's saying, well, if you're going to try and stick to each other, I'll get past both of you if I can. He's up on alongside Ryan Smith. He's going to have to be very late on the brakes. I don't think he's going to get round the outside into Redgate. Look at this. 3 of them almost on top of one another there. Smith's going to try and go through the middle here. Jenkins again defends into the Craners. Crowd are loving this. Smith still holds 4th. He's got to defend at the same time as attacking now, because one false move and Martin Gibson will be through. Down to the older hairpin once again. 4 minutes to go. Still Newell from Willis. They're separated by 4.5 seconds, those two, and further back by nearly 6 seconds now with these three. They're losing time, and Tom O'Rourke's closing back up again, and Steve Thomas. Could be 5 of them battling for third soon. Jenkins is the cork in the bottle, if you like, here. He's not giving way. Ryan Smith's getting wound up here. He's having to be careful. There's Gibson in the number 11 having a look as they go up towards Coppice as well. With a bit of luck out of the chicane, he could get past both of them if he can get the exit correct. There's the leader. Newell from John Willis. There is the 157, the Dawson Direct MAN. Great run for him in second place. Here comes the third place fight. It's soon going to be 5 of them because O'Rourke and Thomas are towing up onto the back of them now. Tom O'Rourke, who had a non-finish yesterday in the MV Commercial MAN, and now Smith again to the inside. Jenkins moves across, Smith almost onto the grass. Swings back out to defend from Martin Gibson. This is more like Caterham racing than truck racing. Through Redgate they go, Smith out wide. Gibson follows him. There you can see the gap to Jonathan Willis ahead of them. There's only 2.5 minutes to go. So there'll be a couple of laps to go this time. And here's the battle in Division 2. Jock Borthwick under fire from the defending champion Stephen Powell. He goes through. That's a move for third in the class. Michael Oliver still leads Division 2. There's the Scania. The Iveco of Craig Reed second, and the MAN's battling for third. Michael Oliver, son of Stuart. Busy with his show trucks now he's out of racing for the weekend. And Martin Gibson's got through. He's got ahead of Ryan Smith. That must have happened down at the bottom section of the circuit while we were looking back at Division 2. I don't think they're going to catch the top 2 here, There's only 2 minutes to go. They might get 2 more laps out of this. We'll wait and see. Steve Thomas has got ahead of Tom O'Rourke behind them, and here comes Martin Gibson. He's leading the attack on David Jenkins now. He's thinking, well, Ryan Smith, you couldn't get past David Jenkins. I'll try and show you how to do it. Smith seems to be struggling this weekend. Oh, and there goes the front bodywork. Look at that, all over the home straight there. Bits of bodywork everywhere off Ryan Smith. Is that a legacy of clipping the back of David Jenkins? Look, he hasn't punctured a tyre doing that because he ran over his own front bumper. Look at the state of the Mercedes. Jenkins still third ahead of Gibson. Tom O'Rourke seems to have slowed. Yes, he's dropping back. Is that a repeat of his problems from yesterday? He's down in 7th. Now, how far behind is Michael Oliver, the Division 2? Yes, he's quite a way back. Less powerful, the Division 2 trucks. Through to the bridge, then up towards McLean's. Still the battle for third goes on. The lead gap is up to nearly 6 seconds now. John Newell is heading for victory. Jonathan Willis is nearly 6 seconds ahead of these three. He's going to take his best ever finish in second. There is Newell. It looks like he's going to have 1 more lap to go this time because there's 30 seconds left on the clock as he comes down towards the chicane. In the NWT Container Services MAN. Comes up over the line to start his final lap. Look at the debris from the truck of Ryan Smith. There's Willis in second. Great run by him. Here comes the third place fight. These trucks looking increasingly battered and bruised. Ryan Smith is going to run over his own debris there if he's not careful. Don't puncture your tyres, Ryan. Up on Martin Gibson. It's still Jenkins holding third. He's held on in front of this group all the way. Steve Thomas 6th. Tom O'Rourke in 7th place. Down the Craners for the last time. Ryan Smith determined to get ahead of Martin Gibson now. Such a frustrating weekend for the British champion. Well, welcome back to Brands Hatch here on this blustery November afternoon here on BARC TV, racing presented by the British Automobile Racing Club. We've already seen our truck race, first truck race of 5 this weekend this morning, closing the gap in Division 1. It was Ryan Smith now just who took the win, now just 2 points behind David Jenkins in Division 1. And the win in Division 2 going to Jock Borthwick. Craig Reed second with fastest lap, increased his lead over Stephen Powell in the Division 2 Championship. Next we take a look at the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. They're all-comers racing for marshals, their end-of-season fun events. That's followed by the Young Guns in the Junior Saloon Car Championship. And then another truck race to follow that to close out today's racing. So we'll have a look at the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. Then we've seen their various championships racing across the season for saloon cars of all ages, shapes and sizes. Their championships are done. The points have all been tallied up, the championships awarded, and it's non-points racing here this weekend for the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. Cars from all the different championships mixed in together. The 2 races this weekend are handicap races, so the car leading on track may not necessarily be the one leading on corrected time. The handicappers and the timekeepers have given the quicker cars handicaps they have to make up. As we saw a couple of races like that at Thruxton towards the end of last season. I know Tom Robinson's Jaguar and Tony Palmer's Escort were a couple of the front runners on corrected time in those events, but we've got quite a mixture of entries here today. We've got everything from big Jaguar XJS's, classic Fords, big V8 engine machines like Alan Greenall's Ford Falcon, down through Lotus Cortinas, Escorts, Capris, Honda Civics we've got in there, Minis, little Alfa Romeos. Oh, and at the back of the field on the grid at very least, a trio of Trabants. Yes, you heard me correctly. There are Trabants racing here this weekend. Possibly the most unlikely race vehicle you will ever see on a UK circuit. Of course, the infamous East German-built car of communism, as some think of it as a symbol. 600 and 700cc engines. There is one of them. We're not making this up. And recognise the symbol on the bonnet there? Driving that machine is Guy Martin. Yes, the Guy Martin, Isle of Man TT motorcycle legend and TV presenter, is here this weekend, and this is certainly one of the most unlikely things he will ever race. That's a 700cc Trabant. The engine in that is probably smaller than the engines in most of the motorcycles that he's raced over the years. Racing along with 2 other Trabants, they're crewed by James Colburn, noted historic racer, and Dutchman Bart Lemaire. And there is Guy Martin, the one and only, in his Trabant. Hopefully we can get a word with him before he goes out on track. We'll see if we can get a word with Guy. It'll be great to quickly hear from him. We'll give you the grid shortly. We should have 34 saloon cars out on track for this next race, but most of the focus will be towards the back of the grid, but obviously with the quicker cars handicapped, it will probably be the Trabants leading on corrected time in the early part of the race. It's going to be really confusing to follow, just as it was in the races at Thruxton last year. And the early laps of the Thruxton races, I didn't have a clue what was going on. Right, so let's have a look at the grid then, as it's lining up. Our first race in pole position is the pre-2003 touring car champion this year, Gary Preble, in his Honda Civic, and alongside him number 99 Mike Saunders in his beautiful Mark 1 Escort. The second row, 101 Malcolm Harding, regular winner in the Blue Oval Saloon Series this year in his Mark 2 Escort, alongside Clive Hainsford in his very modified Mazda RX-8, the rotary engine car. Row 3 of the grid, we have got number 27 Martin Reynolds in his Ford Anglia, the Blue Oval Saloon Series champion, alongside 148 Don Hughes, he's in a Peugeot 306. The fourth row, 144 Rod Burley in his BMW alongside number 20, the Aston Martin V8 Vantage, shared by Ricky Cann and Sam Wilson. They're doing one race each. I believe it's Sam Wilson in the car for race 1. Row 5, Guy Connew in his Jaguar XJS alongside Alan Breck, he's in a Ford Capri. The 6th row, a pair of Ford Sierras, Tom Abbott and Mike Manning, the ex-Rallycross star. Row 7, we've got Cavan Granger, he's in a BMW alongside Rob Taylor in a Ford Fiesta. Row 8, we've got Stuart Kay, number 45, the Classic Touring Car Racing Club chairman, he's in a Ford Capri. His usual triplex Capri. He was supposed to be racing his Ford Mustang this weekend, but has brought the Capri out instead. Alongside him, Colin Claxton with his Mark 1 Escorts. The 9th row, Peter Moffat in another Mark 1 Escort, and 69 Bob Bullen in his Ford Anglia. The 10th row, then we've got Will Davison, he's in a BMW E30. Starts alongside Alan Greenall in his famous Ford Falcon from the pre-66 touring cars. The 11th row, Luke Bennett, he's in a Honda Integra. Starts alongside Eddie O'Kane, number 9. He's in a Hyundai Coupe, sorry. On the 12th row of the grid, 96 Steve Walden. And he is in, let's look on my entry list, that one. Doesn't actually appear on my entry list, not to double check with the qualifying sheet. He's in the E30 BMW, Steve Walden, apologies there. Late entry, Steve. 201 Pat Keneally alongside him, he's in a Lotus Cortina. Next on the grid, row 13, number 6 Anton Martin with his Mark 3 Escort, and H. Harvey with his Mark 1 Escort. Row 14, Alan Hersey with his Reliant Scimitar, Andy Mesham with his Mini. Next, we've got 118 Nathan Beresford in his beautiful BMW 1800 and 64 Keith Evans with the Alfa Sud. The penultimate row, 124, which is Scott Kerwan, he's in a Renault Clio. Alongside him is the first of the Trabants, James Colburn, number 21, Bart Lemaire and Guy Martin in the last of the 3 Trabants round out the grid. So the grid is set on qualifying times, but the race is on handicap, so various cars have been given credit laps, and it will be a very jumbled order as the handicaps start to sort themselves out. But it's Gary Preble, this year's dominant pre-03 touring car champion in his Honda Civic, who is on pole. A very mixed grid indeed, as you can see. Mike Saunders, the ex-TVR racer in his beautiful green Escort. That car appeared at Brands earlier this season, but only lasted a few laps before it sadly broke down. So hoping for a better run here. The second row, Malcolm Harding in his Escort. And I did say Martin Reynolds was in his Anglia. He's not. There's been a late change. He's in his Mark II Escort. We can see there the inside of the third row. He was entered in his Anglia, but he's brought the Escort instead. The cars go off for their green flag lap then. It will be a standing start. 15 minutes of racing. A real mixture of saloon cars out there. And there we have the smoky little East German Trabants at the back of the grid. I can't believe it. This has never been done before. 3 Trabants on a grid in the UK. They've probably been raced in their homeland in the past because there wasn't anything else to race in East Germany other than larders. Look at that. You can't help but smile. And there is Guy Martin at the back. He's never done anything like this before. Good to see Tom Abbott out, not in his usual Capri, in the Sierra there. Sierra Sapphire Cosworth. BMWs, lots of Fords. Renault Clio, the little Alfa Sud there of Keith Evans. Keep an eye on the Trabants here, 600 or 700cc engines. Guy Martin's one does look rather modified, doesn't it? But as we say, it's handicap racing, so anything goes. We're going to have to wait for the timing screen to work itself out over the first couple of laps before we can tell you who the heck is where in the race order. This is the most confusing race of the season, especially from a commentator's point of view. Anton Martin there, the former Bangor racer with the blue and white Escort. Alan Hersey, been racing a BMW in recent times, now in his Reliant Scimitar again. Rosie the Reliance, as she's known. Andy Mesham there, veteran racer with his Mini. Any one of these cars could win it, with the handicap being used. Wouldn't it be great if one of the Trabants won it? Cars coming to the grid then for our first Classic Touring Car Racing Club all-comers race, their end of season bit of fun, racing for marshals, racing to raise money for the Orange Army here this weekend. Gary Preble in the Honda Civic on pole, Mike Saunders in his beautiful Mark 1 Escort alongside Malcolm Harding in his Mark 2 Escort Zach Speed on row 2, along with Clive Hainsford in the Mazda RX-8. With this being a handicap race, anyone on this 34-car grid could win it. Keeping an eye towards the trio of Trabants, yes really, at the back of the grid, including motorcycle legend and TV presenter Guy Martin in the yellow car at the very back of the grid. And this is going to be a real confusing race for the early laps, especially with the handicap system being used. Racing for the Orange Army, thanks to them for their services as always, our volunteer marshals. We could not have any motorsport in the UK without them. Quick wave from some of our marshals there, a thumbs up as well. Thanks, marshals, for your service. We're almost ready to go then. The green flag is waved at the back of the grid, and off we go down towards the first corner at Paddock Hill. The front row gets away well. Don Hughes gets a good start in the Peugeot 306 there through the middle, but it's side by side between Gary Preble and Mike Saunders into the first corner. But they won't be leading at the end of the first lap on corrected time. They'll be leading on the road, but with it being a handicap race, we're going to have to wait and see what the timekeepers and the handicappers have decided. I reckon Rod Burley's going to be in with a chance here. That black BMW, that's Gary Whittaker's old car that won about 100 races, I would think, in Gary's hands. And Rod Burley, if he wins the couple of races this weekend, he'll be on 700 race wins for his career. He's up in the third. It's Mike Saunders who leads on the road in the green Escort. What a magnificent sight they make. Look at the variety. We've got the size of this grid of saloon cars, old and new. That big Aston Martin there. Sam Wilson, I believe it is, on board that machine. The Gulf-liveried Aston V8 Vantage. Somebody looking a bit slow already there, the BMW of Will Davison. He's got the indicator going, so I think he's got problems already with the E30. I think he's heading to the pits. Right, over the line they come then. And the cars have been given credit laps. The Trabants were given a 7-lap head start, would you believe, in this 15-minute race, according to the timing screen. Some of the slower cars at the back have been given 4 laps. We're going to have to wait and see how it works out when they've all crossed the line for the first time. But we're still waiting for the Trabants to cross the line as Scott Kerwin attacks up the inside there in the clear, attacking Eddie O'Kane in the YourIrishShop.com sponsored Hyundai Coupe there. Pat Keneally's Lotus Cortina in there as well. So it is the Trabants that lead on corrected time, even though they're at the back of the field, because they were given so many credit laps. Bart Lemaire, the Dutchman, and Guy Martin were given 7 laps head start, effectively. That's how handicapping works. There they are in the background. But they're already being lapped as they come into Druids on the road. There they are. You can't help but smile. It's such an extraordinary sight. They could take Druids Bend flat out, those little things. There's Clive Hainsford with his rotary-engined Mazda RX-8. He raced special saloons for many years, so he's used to modified machinery like that. Right, now, I've completely lost track of the order already. There's number 21, that's James Colburn. The speed differential is extraordinary. You can see there. That is flat out for a Trabant. That's as quick as they go. They even make the Citroen 2CV Championship look like something from the Le Mans 24 Hours, don't they? All a bit of fun, all raising money for our Orange Army. And technically they are the race leaders. The number 2 car there, the white car on the inside, that's the race leader, believe it or not, on corrected time after the first lap. There's Bob Bullen, number 69, with his Ford Anglia. There goes Guy Martin in the number 8. Now leading on the road is Mike Saunders in the Mark 1 Escort, but it's all an absolute jigsaw puzzle trying to work it out on the timing screen. The Trabants in front, Nathan Beresford's BMW is 4th, and Keith Evans in 5th in the little Alfa Romeo Alfa Sud. So the quicker cars have got to try and make up the handicap. We lost Will Davison, unfortunately. He was the first retirement in his BMW. There's the gorgeous Mark 1 Escort of Peter Moffat, number 41, being chased by Alan Greenall in the big barge-like Ford Falcon. He's had a few race wins in the pre-66 touring cars this year, chasing Luke Bennett and Stuart Kay there, the Integra and the Capri. Stuart Kay, the chairman of the Classic Touring Car Racing Club, runs that Capri 83 touring cars, throwing the Capri around there, just like Jerry Marshall would drive one. Greenhall in his big Falcon. Peter Moffat, lovely looking Mark 1 Escorts, very beautiful cars out in this field. What a glimpse there. Will Davison, the ex-junior Saloon car star, in the pit lane. Okay, so the leaders on corrected time are still the Trabants. There's James Colburn chugging his way along, the 700cc Trabant. He actually got 2 less credit laps because he's got the bigger engine. These two are only 600cc. And Bart Lemaire, there, the Dutchman, is still leading this race despite being by far the slowest car on circuit. The fastest lap of the race so far, recorded by Mike Saunders Escort, is 51.9 seconds. Bart Lemaire's fastest lap, 1 minute 33 seconds. That's the differential we've got out there. There's Gary Preble being chased by Rod Burley. So on scratch, as they say, they're leading along with Mike Saunders. Got to dodge their way through these slower cars here. There's the Capri there. That's the orange Capri of Alan Breck. Very potent machine, that one. The Trabant's just trying to keep out of their way and get their laps in. I think they will be caught up by the field here because you can see how much quicker they are. Marshall's just warning them with the blue flags there to keep out of the way. But Bart Lemaire still leads in the white Trabant on corrected time, ahead of Guy Martin and James Colburn. Nathan Beresford's BMW is 4th and Keith Evans 5th. There's Breck chasing down Colin Claxton. His Mark 1 Escort was a contender for the Blue Oval Saloons title for everything Ford this year, Colin Claxton. Had a few problems in the later round. It was Martin Reynolds who took the title there. Cavan Granger's BMW is behind them, the E46 BMW. There's Rob Taylor's Ford Fiesta ST. Luke Bennett's Honda Integra. Stuart Kay in the Capri. Peter Moffat is next. There, Alan Greenall, Bob Bullen in the Anglia. And one of the Trabants into pit lane there, that is James Colburn. And we've got notification on the timing screen that Trabants have in fact been shown the black flag. So perhaps the officials deciding now just a bit too slow for it to be safe out there. So they will have to pull off into the pits. We'll wait and see what happens there then. There's Gary Preble, still leading Malcolm Harding as they dodge the slower traffic. Pat Keneally's Lotus Cortina there. The original homologation special, designed by Colin Chapman, the Lotus Cortina. They're also lapping H. Harvey there in his Mark 1 Escort. Well, the Trabants are still leading on corrected time, but Colburn has pulled into the pits. I think he may have come back out though, so perhaps they were just getting, whether it was a warning or whether it was to have their onboard cameras checked, I'm not sure. Malcolm Harding passes Gary Preble. Now they were on the same lap, so that's for position there. Trying to see who's coming through. It is hard to track who's coming through on scratch. See if they can catch the handicap cars up. It's near impossible to follow, this is, I have to admit. Malcolm Harding out there. The quickest car on track is Mike Saunders' Escort. His last lap was a 53.1. Rod Burley's in a 53.3, but because of his handicap he's currently in last place. Or is he? Because it's so difficult to tell. Even the timing screen isn't sure at the moment. We've got just under 7 minutes of the race to go. The two Trabants that are still out there, still showing on top. Yeah, Colburn's back out, so he's rejoined. So Bart Lemaire, the white Trabant, the Dutchman, is still showing as the leader ahead of Guy Martin. It's the Renault Clio that's showing in third place. Scott Kerwan, the black Clio, is showing in third. And then we've got Nathan Beresford 4th, Keith Evans 5th, Colburn is down to 6th after calling into the pits. Luke Bennett's Integra is 7th. And then we look further back down the order. 8th on corrected time is Colin Claxton. Who's 9th? Alan Hersey's 9th. And Andy Mesham's Mini is 10th. Oh, problems there. Peter Moffat was slowing in the black Escort. Yeah, he's come to a stop on the Cooper Straight virtually there. That's the number 96. That's the car I weren't sure about at first. That's the late entry on the programme of Walden. 96 Steve Walden's in the orange BMW. Waiting for things to work out here. There's Bob Bullen in the Anglia chasing Clive Hainsford in the Mazda RX-8. Alan Greenall's Ford Falcon in there as well. Oh, Guy Martin's parked up on the on the entry to Paddock Hill Bend there, so the yellow flags are out there. Looks like, yes, Guy Martin out of the race, and we've lost H. Harvey's Escort as well. His son Tom Harvey has been working wonders with the BMW of Mike Luck this year as well. So effectively what we've got going on here is a high-speed trial really, and waiting for the handicappers to work out who's leading. Well, I've currently got 2 cars shown as leading on my timing screen. That's how much sense this is making at the moment. Well, the car shown as leading is Guy Martin, and he's stopped, so that just about sums it up, doesn't it? We think it's the Clio that's going to be taking the lead here of Scott Kerwin, ahead of, Bart Lemaire's pulled into the pits, so we've lost one of the Trabants at least. So Scott Kerwin in the black Renault Clio is now your leader. Second place will be Keith Evans in the little Alfa Romeo. There's Kerwin. So on handicap, he is now the leader. Second will be Keith Evans. Nathan Beresford's blue BMW 1800 will be third. And we have red flags. The red flag has come out. I would imagine that's because of Guy Martin's stranded car. With maybe Guy Martin's stranded car that has caused the red flag. Now that could be the reason for the red flag. Guy Martin, motorcycling legend, has parked his Trabant on the outside of Paddock Hill Bend, and the car's heading back into pit lane. Okay, the clock has gone to 0, so I would imagine that's end of race. And we'll wait for the timekeepers to work out the results of that one. I think we lost Nathan Beresford into the pits towards the end of that one as well. But we said it'd be a confusing affair. Yeah, we lost Clive Hainsford's RX-8 as well, along with a couple of others. So we believe that Scott Kerwin's Clio is the winner on handicap. On the winner on scratch, I haven't got a clue. I think it was Mike Saunders in the Escort there. Well, we'll confirm the results of that one later on when we can. Trabant is pushed away there by the marshals. Well, at least the marshals won't have too much trouble pushing that, because didn't they have something like reinforced papier-mâché as the bodywork? Not sure if that is the reason for the red flag or whether somebody else has gone off somewhere.
And then if you click on results, click on the BARC logo that's there, and then from there you can scroll your way down through to the Brands Hatch meeting 7th of November. There'll be PDF results that you can either scribble into your programs or print out or do whatever you wish with. So tsl-timing.com if you want any of the results.
Okay, so we're going to wait for the timekeepers to give us the results on that one, because handicap races is always rather difficult to follow, as I'm sure you can appreciate from all that. And I never thought we'd see 3 Trabants going around Brands Hatch at the same time. Oh, there's... who does that belong to? It looks like a brake disc to me. Being recovered by one of the officials. After all, that's who it was for, the marshals and officials, this race. And I think we can head down to Ewan Dunlop in the paddock.
A race like that, utter chaos might be one word. I've got Alan Greenhall here in the beautiful Falcon here, the number 77. From a driver's point of view, can you explain that race to us?
Very hairy, especially when you're in the middle of the pack, cars going everywhere, and very fast cars coming round the inside and the outside when they're lapping you, and then some mobile obstacles that I nearly took one out of.
I mean, I think you're talking about the Trabants, aren't you? Now, this car here is probably like nearer the faster end. Have you ever been overtaken as many times and overtaken in a single race?
No. But actually, to be fair to the Trabants, they were at Spa 6 hours 2 years ago, and I think they were getting lapped twice a lap, so...
Right. I mean, are you
ballsy to come out in a Trabant, actually, with the speed of these cars?
I mean, they're going to be spending as much time looking backwards as they are looking forward, maybe even more. I mean, like, how do you... Everybody wants to take their car home in one piece.
Yeah.
That made it very difficult, surely.
Yeah, no, but very difficult indeed, because, you know, you've got a reasonable idea of the speed they're doing, about 40 miles an hour or something, but then when you're coming out of a bend and, you know, you're hanging on for dear life trying to get it round, and the Trabant is getting very close, and all of a sudden you've got to give it a bit of extra.
Yeah.
So it's really quite tight.
But all for a good cause for the marshals.
Absolutely, and fantastic. I mean, I was here when that poor fellow died, and that was so tragic, really awful, and you know, anything that we can do to help the marshals, really fantastic.
And you had a good season, because we've spoken a few times in different classes this year, haven't we?
Yes. No, I've had a very good season, actually, and we've had a few more in Class A, so luckily I've got a bit higher up in the championship, because we need 3 in our class to get any points. But
Alan, I've no idea where you finished in that race, but thank you for the entertainment. Thank you very much. Cheers, Alan. I'm going to speak to Nathan here as well. Now, Nathan's holding a trophy, so have we found our race winner here?
I'm not sure if I am the race winner, but it's been a really emotional week for me this week, and it's been my first season, my first race car, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll be back next year, and I can't thank the club enough. It's been an amazing introduction into motor racing in a superb little car. So that it's a tribute to our hard work to get the car prepared and keep it here every race this year. I'm looking forward to doing a year that's not quite so broken up next year. And thank you very much. Cheers.
I mean, it is beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, certainly. I purchased it 5 years ago from Denmark in 4 boxes. And I'd seen them racing, and they'd always captured my imagination, and I just decided I wanted to go racing in this car, and it took me 4 years to prepare it and get it right. The Ranker Engineering have helped me tremendously with the engine. And we've done all the body work and the race prep pretty much ourselves, apart from the engine. And I'd like to thank my brother Dan, who's been right up front, helping me out every day, being patient with my wanting to get it right all the time and go racing. And his girlfriend Lisa have been really good. They've helped me through it.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. Congrats on the win. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Now, Alan, don't go away yet, because let's just go for a little walk. Because if you like cars, and I know a lot of you watching do, of course, this is like being a kid in a sweet shop. So let's just go for a little walk. Look what you've got competing here. You've got the Falcon, the BMW, and then you've got these absolute monsters. You might not see a race like that ever again. I would love to speak to one of the Trabant drivers. We are going to try and get Guy Martin. He finished with a couple of laps to go, and the timing said he was still in the lead. So who knows how this works, but congratulations to Nathan. Let's just go for a 10-15 second walk. I know we've got a race coming up with the Junior Saloons, but I'm just going to immerse myself in all of these vehicles, and I know who's going to be very, very jealous is your commentator. Let's head back now to Dave Goddard.
Junior Saloon cars on the grid then for their final race weekend of the season, and the champion-elect Charlie Hand is on pole. He leads the points by 55 points. Harvey Caton, Alfie Jenkins and Ruben Hayes are all in with a mathematical chance of catching him, but Charlie, if you pardon the pun, does have one hand on the trophy, I would say, coming into this weekend. We'll run you through the grid for this one as the cars head round on their green flag. Oh, that looks like we've got one car pulling off at the back already there, but in pole position it is number 55, Charlie Hand. Alongside him, 322 of Jamie Petters. On the second row, 54 Harvey Caton, second in the points coming into this round, and 42 Will Redford. If he competed for a full season, he'd surely be a championship contender as well. The third row is 600 of Ruben Hayes and 91 Jack Meakin. Fourth row, 98 Oliver Cottam alongside 63 Chloe Grant. Row 5 is number 46 of Harry Hickton and 40 Matthew Cripps. The sixth row, number 80 Aaron Walker. He starts with a grid penalty from some contact in a previous round alongside number 58 Harvey Dent. The seventh row, treble 3 Adam Harding and 29 Scott Sumpton. Then on row 8 we've got 22 Ashley Gregory. She's alongside 92 Adam Parker. The ninth row, 59 CJ Morgan and 16 of Jacob Heap. Completing the top 20, 77 Travis Chapman and 754 Alfie Jenkins, championship contender. He won't be happy to be that far down the grid. On row 11, 33 Jacob Baldry starts alongside 66 Ollie Handley. The 12th row, number 10 Harry Smith and 28 Louis Hansel, the top rookie in this year's points. He's a long way down the grid as well. 119 Sandro Ballesteros, good luck to him in his first ever Junior Saloon car race, starting alongside 871 Jensen Bell. 23 Arwen Graham, welcome back to her, starting alongside Ben Carter in number 57, and number 30 Jamie Good after problems in qualifying, starting from the back. So the cars making their way up to the grid then. These are 14 to 16 year olds racing identical 1600cc Citroen Saxo VTRs. Is Charlie Hand going to continue his run of success this year? He's won the majority of the races. Harvey Caton has had a couple of wins this year at Donington and Cadwell Park. Jamie Petters on the front row, his best qualifying effort so far, looking for his first podium, I think, never mind his first win. And Will Redford, a newcomer from the world of sim racing midway through this season, he's really made a splash in his few races he's competed in so far. Ruben Hayes in 5th on the grid. He won here at Brands Hatch in a frantic dice earlier this season. Starting on the 3rd row of the grid. Alfie Jenkins, meanwhile, the other championship contender, is way back in 20th on the grid. Blue, white and purple car on the 10th row. The green flag is waved at the back of the grid then. This will be a 15-minute race plus 1 lap. We're about to get underway. Off they go then, and Charlie Hand makes a decent start. Great start by Will Redford up the outside. Look at this, 4 wide as they go towards paddock bend. Jamie Petters has made a poor start. He drops back into 4th, and it is Charlie Hand and Harvey Caton side by side as they run out of Druids. I think Caton may have just got the advantage there as they head up towards Druids. Yes, he's got the lead. Harvey Caton, perfect start for the Midlands-based driver. Side by side for second, Will Redford and Charlie Hand. And oh, we've got trouble there. That's Jacob Heap, and heavy damage to the number 16 car. There's damage to Louis Hansel's car there as well. They've had some contact big time on the run out of Paddock Hill Bend. And Harvey Caton's off on the exit of Graham Hill Bend. The leader has gone. Now, was there contact there with Charlie Hand? We didn't see. There's another car running wide further back, but the safety car is being scrambled because of Jacob Heap's car. Well, we'll try and get a replay, if we can, of what happened there coming out of Graham Hill Bend, because Harvey Caton we saw spinning off. We didn't see the cause of that. Well, it's all kicked off on the very first lap for the junior saloon cars. The big incident, Jacob Heap with heavy front end damage off at Paddock Hill Bend. The safety car is out. Okay, so the safety car will be down on Cooper Straight to pick up our race leader, which is now Charlie Hand. Harvey Caton's come through in 19th place after that spin. And there's the reason for the safety car. Look at the state of Jacob Heap's car. We'll try and see what happened there in a moment. We were concentrating on the battle for the lead into Druids. So let's have a look at what's happened here. Oh, Jacob, he went into the back of Louis Hansel there by the look of it. So Hansel must have been slowed by something there coming through. There we see the 28 car. I think it was him who Jacob Heap went into the back of. There must have been some impact. I'm surprised the other car is still running. Try and see it again here. We'll take back a little further. Watch to the right of your screen whether Louis Hansel had spun, and then there's the contact. That is a strange one, because the whole of the front of the car has come away. Jensen Bell running over some of the debris there. So it wasn't a direct impact on the back of the Louis Hansel car, and the front of Jacob Heap's car just seemed to fall to bits. That was a strange one. Now we'll try and see what happened going into Graham Hill Bend as well. Between if there was any contact between Charlie Hand and Harvey Caton. They are fighting for the championship, of course. There's the car of Jacob Heap being recovered by the pickup truck there. So it's Charlie Hand leading, Will Redford in second, looking for his first win in the series. Ruben Hayes looking for his second this year in the 600 car. Then Jamie Petters, after a poor start from the front row, is in fourth. Oliver Cotton is fifth, looking for his first win as well. Chloe Grant's the first of the ladies in sixth place. Also for the girls, we've got Ashley Gregory and further back Arwen Graham. Good to have her back. She's missed the last couple of meetings. Chloe Grant, the winner of the Junior Saloon Car Scholarship this year. Good to see her up there in sixth position ahead of Jack Meakin, Matthew Cripps, Scott Sumpton and Aaron Walker, who had that sixth place grid penalty for contact in a previous round. Now, there for the lead, it looks to me like there was contact there between Charlie Hand and Harvey Caton. We just about caught that. We'll try and see that again if we can. Harvey Caton off onto the grass. He's down in 19th place. I make it at the moment. We'll have a look, see exactly where he is. In fact, he's come into the pits, so there must be damage to Harvey Caton's car. Certainly damage to Jacob Heap. Look at the state of that. Clock still counting down, 10.5 minutes of the race to go, plus one lap, because when the clock counts down to 0 in junior saloon cars, the last lap board comes out. There's the car of Louis Hansel. That's the one that had the contact with Jacob Heap. Harvey Caton is in the pits. Where is our other championship contender, Alfie Jenkins? Up to 14th, so he's gained a fair few places so far. Caton is coming back out a couple of laps down. He may at least try and get in the championship points. We'll need some attrition, I would think, to do so, though, because points awarded down to just past 20th place, and there's 27 cars left out there. It is double points on this race, so it's 50 points for a win, 44 for second and 40 for third, plus a bonus for the fastest lap. Great to see Will Redford up there in second. If only he'd been in action for the full season this year, he would have been a title contender, I'm sure. Mirror hanging off another car there in the lower reach of the top 10. CJ Morgan, I think that was, number 59. But It's kicked off immediately in our first race of the junior saloon cars. The lights are still on at the moment on top of the BMW safety car. They now go out as I say that, so we're going back to racing this time. Charlie Hand now controls the field as the safety car about to pull in. He'll try and back the field up and then get his foot down at the opportune moment to pull away. The last thing we want, though, is for the field to concertina behind him. There's Harvey Caton lurking at the back, but he'll be at least a lap down after that pit call. Here we go, there's damage there. That's CJ Morgan's car. I think there's already a few battered cars. They've only done one racing lap. There's another race to go this weekend as well. Away they go then, the pack is unleashed. Back to green flag racing, and the front of the field already spaced out. That's because Oliver Cottam in problems there, and they can't pass before the start-finish line. Oliver Cottam, whether he's got damage or whether that's engine smoke, but he was very slow away there, and that's caused the first four to be able to pull away because they couldn't pass Cottam until they reached the start-finish line, so that's opened the field up. There's damage there. Is that on Chloe Grant's car, possibly? Yeah, I think she may have hit the back of Oliver Cottam as they were getting back underway, so that's what caused that delay. Behind Grant behind, that's Jack Meakin in the blue car. There's Aaron Walker, and next is Cottam. He's under fire from Matthew Cripps in the number 40 with the white stripes down the bonnet there. So it's Charlie Hand that leads the way. It's over half a second clear of Will Redford. And then Hage and Petters, they were able to get clear as a result of that little schmozzle on the restart there. Number 10 there is Harry Smith, running further down the order. Jack Meakin is up into 5th position then ahead of Chloe Grant's battered number 63 car. Aaron Walker is up to 7th. And Cottam has gone down to 8th. Then Cripps and Sumpton rounding up the top 10. Here are the leaders at Druids. Jamie Petters all over the back of Ruben Hage for 3rd place. See that damage there on Chloe Grant's car. Oliver Cottam has got damage as well. There must have been a collision between those two on the restarts. 29 of Scott Sumpton runs a bit wide coming out of Druids. As Aaron Walker has a look at the inside. Cottam sliding all over the place in front of him, well avoided by Matthew Cripps. And Alfie Jenkins, look at that, through the middle, gains 3 places, saying, well, if you're going to all fall over each other, I'll get up to where I should have qualified. 20th on the grid. He's done this before this season, Alfie Jenkins, the ex-junior rallycross racer. Oliver Cottam's now back in the pack. There's some damage at the back of his car. That's why it's handling so badly, I think. Probably damaged the suspension in that collision. So it's Hand from Redford, Hage and Petters. They've gone in front. Meakin is 5th, Walker 6th, Grant down to 7th. Alfie Jenkins is up into 8th position. 6 laps that's taken him to get from 20th up to 8th. There are the leaders. Will Redford is not giving Charlie Hand any peace at all at the front of this field. Side by side for 3rd between Hage and Petters as they duke it out. Hage defending rigorously there for 3rd place. He's still in championship contention, Ruben Hage, as they go into Graham Hill Bend. Sky is darkening a bit here at Brands Hatch. I hope we're not going to have any rain. Jack Meakin still holding 5th ahead of Aaron Walker. Then it's Chloe Grant. Then a gap back to Jenkins in 8th, Cripps 9th, and Sumpton is 10th. Through Surtees into McLaren. Aaron Walker to the inside of Jack Meakin there, side by side. Ruben Hage still defending 3rd place from Jamie Petters. Making the wide line here into paddock. Is he going to go all the way round the outside there? Jamie Petters, that's a brave move given the roller coaster nature of this corner. It is a lot steeper than it looks on your screens. I recently walked a lap of the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, and it really is like walking around a roller coaster track. Side by side through Druids. Now this is going to put Petters on the correct side for the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend, but no. Hage gets the better exit and will have the line back again. So he holds that 3rd place. Pulls away just a length or two there, battling back in the midfield all the way. There's Jensen Bell ahead of the 57 of Ben Carter. Side by side through Graham Hill Bend there, CJ Morgan and Louis Hounsell together. Harvey Caton trying to make his way back up the order, but of course he is still in last place because he's a lap down after calling into the pits. So just trying to at least get a race finish here. He'll have another chance in race 2 because the grid is not based on the result of this one, it's based on the 2nd fastest times in qualifying. There's Louis Hounsell, that front end damage. And pulling into the pits there, that's Oliver Cottam. Not surprisingly, that car was handling dreadfully after that contact after the safety car. Side by side for third, Hayes and Petters still fighting it out. Damage to the back of Petters' car there, so he's been hit somewhere. Side by side there, the 58 car, that's Harvey Dent, side by side with CJ Morgan. Hansel behind them in the purple Jenkins prepared car. Behind them, that's 33, Jacob Baldry, he's running well in 50. Ruben Hayes, winner here at Brands Hatch earlier this season, his first win in the championship. Still Charlie Hand who leads, fastest lap of the race as well, ahead of Will Redford. They've pulled 2.5 seconds clear of the fight for third now. His first of 2 races this weekend for the Junior Saloon Car Championship. There's Harvey Caton. Whether he's trying to unlap himself, I'm not sure. Unlikely with the identical cars out there. Ruben Hayes still holding the inside there through Druids. Harvey Caton, the Maximum Motorsport car, and a tangle ahead of him there. Oh my goodness, another one goes off behind. That I think is Jacob Baldry possibly. Harvey Caton got through that. 2 or 3 cars tangling in front of him. They're going all over the place in this first race for the Junior Saloon cars. Hopefully they'll all be able to hold it together for the second race tomorrow. Treble 3 of Adam Harding in behind Caton there. But Caton, of course, as we said, is a lap down as he called into the pits during the safety car. Still Charlie Hand leads the way. That will effectively, I would say, just about wrap up the title for him, with Caton well behind out of the points. Charlie Hand on to receive 50 points plus the bonus for fastest lap. Ruben Hayes, his nearest championship rival, in third place. Jenkins is still 8th. So this is pretty much going to give the title to Charlie Hand, I would think. Will Redford going great guns in second place. Louis Hansel under fire. It's number 10 of Harry Smith on his tail. Here's the leaders, Charlie Hand from Will Redford. Can Will Redford get past Charlie Hand for his first victory? 90 seconds to go plus 1 lap as they come up over the line this time. So at least a couple of laps to go here. Now lapping in the 59s, these two, and Will Redford's just done the fastest lap of the race, 59.093. So he's closing on Hand, very slowly but surely. Up the hill to Druids. Side by side still for third. Jamie Petters is determined to get ahead of Ruben Hayes and get his first podium. He was on for second at Donington recently, but got shuffled back in the last couple of laps into fourth, and he's trying to force his way down the inside there into Graham Hill Bend. He's got the line, he's surely going to go through. Hayes tries to turn in, keeps his foot in over the curbs. There's a great fight between these two, and I think Hayes has just about done enough to stay in front. Meanwhile behind, Aaron Walker's got into 5th ahead of Jack Meakin. Chloe Grant behind them, then Jenkins 8th. They're still side by side as they come through. This is like the previous visit to Brands Hatch for Ruben Hayes. He was permanently side by side with somebody. Just leans Jamie Petters out wide there. Petters has come from the school of hard knocks on the short ovals in mini stocks racing. Side by side over the line. There's only a few seconds left on the clock, so it'll be last lap next time around for the race leader Charlie Hand. He still leads Will Redford. All eyes on this battle for third place at the moment. Hayes over the curb there on the outside. He dodges across the front of Jamie Petters, who's forced to the outside yet again. Now he needs to keep this line. He needs to stay alongside into Graham Hill Bend. Now he's forced onto the curb again. He doesn't want to get penalised for exceeding track limits. He tries again down the inside at Graham Hill Bend, and no, again Hayes gets the better exit. This is allowing Meakin and Walker to get through. Meakin's got back ahead there in the battle for 5th place, the blue car. Grant 7th, Jenkins 8th behind. The leaders are coming towards the start of their final lap, and Hand's just got the fastest lap back again, 58.995. Across the line they come then. The start of the final lap. Last lap board is out. Still side by side over the line. Jamie Petters round the outside there. Can he get third place away coming out of Paddock Hill Bend? They come towards us. They're still they've been side by side for virtually the entire race, these two. Again, Hage, though, will have the inside line for Druids. Can Petters force the issue down to Graham Hill Bend? No, again, he's forced wide over the curbs. Tries to keep his footing. Has he got the overlap this time into Graham Hill Bend? This time he might have a better chance, but Hage just seems to get the better exit from Graham Hill Bend every time, whichever side he is on. Walker's back into fifth in the white car behind them. Petters up the inside. Has he got it this time? Through Surtees for the final time. He's just about done it. Hage back up the inside into Clearways. The win's going to go to Charlie Hand ahead of Will Redford. They're still side by side. It's going to be a photo finish between these two. If Petters gets his foot down hard enough, they're up towards the line. It's going to be a win for Charlie Hand ahead of Will Redford. They're coming towards the line for third place. It's going to be a photo finish, and Petters, I think, got there. Petters gets it by 0.14 of a second. Sensational. Charlie Hand has won it. Will Redford second. It was Aaron Walker who took fifth ahead of Jack Meakin. Chloe Grant seventh. Alfie Jenkins eighth. Matthew Cripps ninth, and Scott Sumpton 10th. And then the rest of them come home. Hardly time to catch your breath during that race. We'll confirm the results in a moment then. Harvey Cater, I can tell you, came in 24th and the last classified finisher after his pit visit. Well, fastest lap there goes to Will Redford, but 50 points to Charlie Hand for the race win. I don't think Harvey Caton will score, finishing that low down the order. Ruben Hage will get 38 points for fourth. And in 8th place, Alfie Jenkins will score 30 points. And that means, by my calculations, Charlie Hand is the champion. So congratulations to Charlie Hand. We will confirm officially, of course, that Charlie Hand the winner and provisionally your champion, half a second ahead of Will Redford. Jamie Petters third in his sensational battle with Ruben Hage. Got the run to the line absolutely right. Less than 0.2 of a second in it there. Aaron Walker took fifth in a titanic battle with Jack Meakin. Chloe Grant seventh ahead of Alfie Jenkins. And Matthew Cripps and Scott Sumpton completing the top 10. Ashley Gregory was next ahead of Harvey Dent, Adam Harding, Louis Hansel in his battered car 14th, and Harry Smith completing the top 15. Behind them in 66 was Ollie Handley. Next home was Arwin Graham, then Ben Carter, Jacob Baldry, Jensen Bell completing the top 20. Sandro Ballesteros on his debut took 21st ahead of Harry Hicton, dropping back to 22nd. And the last finisher on the lead lap was Adam Parker, number 92, ahead of the lapped Harvey Caton. We lost CJ Morgan to the pits. We also lost the 77 of Travis Chapman. Oliver Cotton we saw pull off, and Jacob Heap and Jamie Good we lost on the opening lap. Well, by my calculations, your 2021 Junior Saloon Car Champion is Charlie Hand, so many congratulations to him. 50 points for the race win. Harvey Caton a non-score, and with Hage and Jenkins 4th and 8th, that looks like is enough for Charlie Hand to provisionally take the championship for this year. Many congratulations to him. I'm sure we'll be able to hear from him very shortly. I'm off to catch my breath. We'll hear from Ewan Dunlop shortly, and once the circuit is clear, the trucks will be out on track for their second race of the week.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
Next up here, their second race of the day, and if you wish to scribble your programme, please to page number 42, page 42, and the grid then for this second truck race of the day. Lines up as...
Okay, we can now hand down to Ewan Dunlop in park furnace.
Starts from pole position.
Ferme, and let's ignore the leader for a second, but what a race for third and fourth. Ruben Hage, Jamie Petters. You must have enjoyed that. That was just side-by-side racing for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I thought I was going to hold him off. He had the pace over me, but usually it's easier to defend on this track than it is to overtake, so I thought I might just be able to keep him behind. Obviously, you know, we're side-by-side for pretty much the entire 15 minutes. So, yeah, gutted to miss out, but, yeah, well-deserved race that was.
And Jamie, enjoy that?
That was a great race. I didn't think I'd make it, but it all came together on the last lap.
I mean, when you're side by side like that, you guys are young guys going on a world famous racing track. That is like experiences for life, those kind of situations, isn't it?
It is awesome. I'll never forget this day. Great day.
And in terms of the championship, looks like Charlie's got it like we knew he would, but double points, so you could still catch Harvey, because he didn't have the greatest start to the race.
No, he didn't. I think he got a bit sideways coming into Grey Mill and didn't manage to catch it, so took a nice chunk of points out of him, but the main aim this weekend is the top three in the championship, of which we've helped take a load of points out of the competition. So looking good for the next race. I'd just like to thank my sponsors, Gardex, Astor and Handler, because none of this would be possible without them.
Fantastic. Jamie, I'm going to let you come in as well. Say any words for sponsors?
Yes, thank you to Arbus Limited, Smart Raft and Restore.
Fantastic. Guys, thank you for the entertainment. I don't think we'll get a side-by-side race like that again this weekend, so well done and thank you. And I'm going to try and find Charlie Hand, OK? Where's he shot off to? Oh, you're going to have to come for a walk, Alan. Sorry, mate. Come on. Come with me. Oh, have a quick look here. This is one of the collisions we saw. My goodness me. Bit of gaffer tape and Tipex. Do the trick. Right, let's go and get Charlie. Charlie. Here he is. He's gone for a little walk. Where's his car, Charlie? Got Harvey Caton's car that he span earlier on. Mate, I'm going to say congratulations. I've not done the official maths yet because anything can happen with the stewards and things, but it looks like championship for you.
Yeah, I'm just over the moon. I'm literally speechless. I can't believe it. It's been such a good year of racing, hard racing, and yeah, just finish it off with a win as well. I've never won at Brands, which is actually quite surprising. But yeah, to get a win here at my home track is just amazing.
And it was a good race. I mean, it was a very exciting race for us watching behind you, but you just controlled that from the start.
Well, yeah, I had Will up my arse the whole time, so that was a bit scary. I could see him. It was like lap after lap. It was like gaining, catching. So there was a lot of like cat and mouse. But I managed just to hold it at the end, and yeah, I'm just so happy.
With championship secured, one more race to come tomorrow. Are you just going to enjoy yourself? What do you do in that race, or are you going to end it all on a win?
Well, I enjoy every race, but obviously the pressure's off now. I didn't like to say that I was under pressure, but obviously you feel it, don't you? So yeah, maybe a couple of drifts through paddock will be probably good. But
like you said, as we saw with Harvey, anything can happen. He span off on the opening lap and got dropped down to about 25th or 30th. If that had been you, that's championship wide open.
Yeah, it's obviously it's always upsetting to see your competitor go off. It's not really the way I wanted it to end. It would have been better if we had like a proper battle. But congratulations to Harvey. He's driven amazingly all year, and obviously they've still got a secure second place in the next race, so it's still all to play for really for them.
Yeah, still makes it very exciting in the championship for second, third and fourth place still to be decided in race number 2, but your champion here for the year is Charlie Hand. Charlie, congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's go back to Dave. Got our second race for the trucks and our final race of the day then here on BARC TV. It is the British Truck Racing Championship. 2 points now separating Dave Jenkins and Ryan Smith.
Well, many congratulations to Charlie Hand there. Apologies instantly for any choice language you may have heard from the new champion there. A bit excited after his victory. We're now going to have our next truck race coming out very shortly, the second of 5 races of the British Truck Racing Championship this weekend. But first of all, we caught up with our race 1 winners earlier on with Ewan Dunlop. We can hear from them now.
Here in Park Ferme, glad to be beside John Borthwick, winner of our Division 2 first race of the weekend.
Between one thing and another, and I had solid front wheels on and let my brakes get a little bit warm, then it run wide, and then it was red flagged. Thankfully it restarted again and calmed down and got temperatures a bit better, but we got the win, and that's what matters.
And at one point there you had a few seconds lead over Craig So we moved over to Division 1, and once again, as we had this morning, Martin Gibson, 4th in that one, but that does not tell the story of that race. Just talk us through your opening lap and what happened.
Well, we nearly missed the race anyway because we couldn't start the truck before the race. Thankfully, they waited for us. But when I went over there, I was stuck in low range, so I had a maximum speed of about 10 miles an hour. And then we had water system failed, electrical system failed, but the lads got the truck running and got it into high range.
One or two issues with those interviews, sorry about that. We'll move on to our next truck race instead then. One or two technical difficulties, as you can see with the playback of our interviews there, sorry about that. As we get ready for our next race, the reverse grid format in operation. The finishers in each division are flipped around. So in pole position for Division 1 will be number 46 Bradley Smith alongside 81 Mark Taylor. Second row 86 Tom O'Rourke and 33 Steve Thomas. And then on row 3 number 11 Martin Gibson and 18 John Newell. Fourth row 69 David Jenkins and number 1 Ryan Smith, the earlier winner. The fifth row, Stuart Oliver, number 7. He pulled off into the pits during race 1. At 17, Shane Brereton ended up in the gravel in race 1. 92, Simon Faulkner. He finished the first race, but of course he's a novice, so he starts at the back of Division 1 for this next race, by request. Then there's a gap, and we've got the Division 2s. Craig Evans listed there on the front row. Willem Bredick will be alongside him, the Dutchman, in number 50. So 50 and 10 on row 8. The next row will be 45, Tony Smith, and number 5, Adam Bintz. After that, we've got number 16 of Brad Smith and 3, Stephen Powell. 41, Simon Cole, starts alongside 68, Craig Reed, and Division 2 winner from race 1, Jock Borthwick, number 32, will start at the back. Should Paul McCumsky be ready to race in this one, he would join the back of the Division 2 grid. Although that would take us over capacity, of course, so I imagine he won't if Shane Brereton's on the grid. The maximum capacity for truck races is 20 trucks for a race at Brands Hatch, and we've got 21 here. So if any of the trucks from race 1 are not fit to race in this one and Paul McCumsky has fixed his issues from qualifying, there is a chance he could be allowed onto the grid for this one. But as we said, Paul unfortunately has only really done 1 or 2 racing laps all season, so I'd say it's unlikely. It's a real shame for Paul. Real unsung hero. He's been racing trucks for many, many years. Out they come to the grid then, so we will be able to see. Led out by the Mercedes-Benz Pace truck there, provided by Lenham Storage. Mark Taylor leading them round in the number 81 MAN, Taylor's haulage truck. 33 is Steve Thomas from Birmingham in the Thomas's haulage MAN. MAN's the dominant mark in British truck racing. Nice little power slide there as he comes through Druids. That's what we like to see, some side. Actually, look at David Jenkins there throwing his MAN around. Martin Gibson back out, John Newell. Tom O'Rourke in 86, contesting some rounds of the European Truck Racing Championship this year. Great shame that the European Series doesn't visit the UK anymore. The regulars Donington and Silverstone. Of course, at Donington back in 1984, the first ever truck races in Europe were held, and back then it was quite literally road-going trucks that left their trailers in the paddock, went out and raced, and then continued their haulage jobs the following day. Tullio Ghislotti, the Italian, was the winner of that event. Smith looking for 2 wins out of 2. There's Willem Bredick. Shane Brereton on the grid. He's repaired the front end of his truck after his off at paddock in race 1. Bradley Smith, the youngest man in the championship in 46. Craig Evans, number 10. Mr. Consistent in Division 2 this year. Simon Faulkner, smoky Simon Faulkner there. Number 5, Adam Bintz. Stephen Powell. Simon Cole. Playing to the crowds here, a big crowd here at Brands Hatch. It is a sellout weekend, as you'd expect with the firework display tomorrow. Drivers power sliding, sounding their air horns. British crowds love their truck racing, they always have. Tony Smith, number 45, in his Iveco. 16, Brad Smith in the DAF. Craig Reed. Could he seal the Division 2 title in this race? There's Jock Borthwick. He'll start right at the back. I think won Division 2 in race. Just held off Craig Reed at the line. And then the points. David Jenkins is on 3.33, Ryan Smith on 3.31, and Martin Gibson 3.26 in Division 1, so they're covered by 7 points going into this race. With a further 64 points maximum available if you win 4 races and take 4 fastest laps. So that means that if David Jenkins, Ryan Smith and Martin Gibson all don't score for the rest of the weekend, John Newell or Mark Taylor could theoretically take the championship if they get a maximum score, but it's very unlikely. While in Division 2, Craig Reed's on 391, Stephen Powell on 338. They're the only two who can win the title in Division 2. And if Stephen Powell hits trouble in this race, then Craig Reed will take the title, because there's 53 points between the two of them, a maximum of 64 points on offer. So if Craig Reed were to win this and Stephen Powell doesn't finish, then Craig Reed is guaranteed the championship. Craig Evans is third in Division 2. He's on 2.45, but it's more through consistency that he's scored his points rather than out-and-out speed this year. Adam Bint is fourth. Then it's Bradley Smith, Jock Borthwick in sixth in the points. Bradley Smith, of course, won't be scoring points in Division 2 in this one because he's now moved up into Division 1. Jock Borthwick next on 1.68, and then John Powell, who's not racing this weekend. Behind them, Simon Cole, Brad Smith, and Michael Oliver, son of Stewart, who only made one appearance this year, what a spectacular one it was at Donington in his Scania. And the only other drivers to have scored points in Division 2 were Tony Smith in a one-off at Pembrey, and of course Willem Bredick, who's here this weekend. He'll start at the front of Division 2 in this one. Behind the championship contenders in Division 1, John Newell is fourth in the points on 290, 43 points off the lead. Mark Taylor on 279 and Stuart Oliver on 250 failed to score in race 1. And then further back we've got Tom O'Rourke on 157, behind him Steve Thomas. Jonathan Willis, the newcomer this year, had a great weekend at Donington in his MAN, ex-short oval racer. So not out this weekend, sadly. Then Simon Faulkner, Tony Smith after his foray at Pembrey, Bradley Smith from his points here earlier this weekend, and of course Shane Brereton. That completes the roster of drivers really for this season. So the pace truck, the Lenham Storage Mercedes-Benz, leads them off. Looks like Bradley Smith electing to start from the back of the Division 1 grid there. He is new to Division 1. Flying Dutchman on pole in Division 2 alongside Craig Evans. So a slightly rejigged grid to what we read out for you. Yeah, the amendment didn't come through until just as they were moving off, unfortunately. No Stuart Oliver either, with his problems in race 1. The truck damaged in qualifying, that's probably the reason why. So it's Taylor and O'Rourke on row 1. Second row, Thomas and Gibson. Then Newell and Jenkins. Smith and Brereton. Bradley Smith electing to start from the back of Division 1 along with Simon Faulkner because of a relatively inexperienced Division 1 racer. So we've dealt with all the grid amendments and we're now ready to go racing. Getting ready for our second British Truck Racing Championship event of the weekend here at Brands Hatch. Mark Taylor and Tom O'Rourke in their MANs on the front row of the grid. Ryan Smith in the Mercedes from the fourth row with the reverse grid format in operation, looking to make it 2 wins out of 2. Shane Brereton just looking to get a racing lap in this time. Back in Division 2, the grid headed by Willem Bredick and Craig Evans. Craig Reed looking to potentially seal the title in this one if his rival Steve Powell hits trouble. This will be a 15-minute race. Here we go then, up towards the start-finish line, waiting for the red lights to go out. Power comes on and away they go. Down towards Paddock Bend for the first time. Decent start by David Jenkins, trying to get through the middle into Paddock Bend. Two white MANs that lead them off, and going straight on into the gravel. Steve Thomas, in the similarly coloured truck, as the Division 2 pack gets underway with Willem Bredek in the lead. Quite a bit of smoke and steam from one of those trucks, that is Stephen Powell, and somebody else going off at the back in there. That's Jock Borthwick, and he nearly hits Steve Thomas's truck. Oh dear, oh dear. Two trucks in the gravel at Paddock Bend. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a red flag, but the race goes on for now with out in front. Yes, the red flags are coming out. Well, Steve Thomas buried axle deep in the gravel at Paddock, and the red flags are out again. Well, there's Jock Borthwick. He's dragged himself out of the gravel there, but Steve Thomas is stuck, so the race had to be stopped. And that will be a full restart, with the trucks being taken back to them. Seems to happen in nearly every race here at Brands Hatch, unfortunately, doesn't it? It just shows just how difficult Paddock Hill Bend is. Like I said earlier, it's hard enough to walk round, never mind drive round, even in a car, never mind a truck. Out comes the heavy artillery once again. Should be a slightly quicker recovery job this time, because he hasn't gone in quite as far as Shane Brereton did. Watch the yellow and white truck. Did he get a push there? No, he just locked up, went in too quickly. Straight on into the gravel. Meanwhile, back in Division 2, bit of smoke there from Stephen Powell. Jock Borthwick didn't go in too quickly, he just ran out of road on the outside. Into the gravel, and then spotted Steve Thomas's truck. Look out. Luckily just managed to avoid, look at him bouncing over the ruts that Thomas had created there. That was a lucky escape. Under the red flag here at Brands Hatch in our second British Truck Racing Championship event of the day then. Red flag coming out with Steve Thomas in the number 33 MAN beached in the gravel at Paddock Hill Bend on the first lap. So we'll try again shortly. Back on the grid and lined up ready for the restart, just waiting to see if Steve Thomas will be able to rejoin. Incidentally, we have a result come through from the Classic Touring Car Racing Club handicap race that we saw earlier. Scott Kerwin's Renault Clio was the winner, ahead of Keith Evans in his Alfa Romeo Alfa Sud and Nathan Beresford's BMW 1800. So that was your top three confirmed. Another of those confusing affairs taking place tomorrow. The car that was leading on the road, Mike Saunders, was classified 24th. No, I don't know either. Handicap races you normally see in the likes of vintage car racing these days, the Vintage Sports Car Club. So all the other trucks have survived that. Jock Borthwick went through the gravel as well. He's there at the back of the grid. Everybody else is okay. The points system, incidentally, in British truck racing is 15 points for a win, down to 1 point for 15th place, and a point for the fastest lap in each division. That's how it works this day. If you win, you get 15 points. Ryan Smith got 16 in race 1 because he got the fastest lap in Division 1 as well. While the winner of Division 2 in race 1, Jock Borthwick, got 15, but so did Craig Reed, because he got 14 for second place, but he got the fastest lap. Just checking if there's been any amendment to the results of race 1 while we have a moment here. No, there hasn't. Looks like that result stands. More racing coming up for you tomorrow, of course. We begin at around 11:15 tomorrow morning with our third truck race of the weekend. That's followed by the second Classic Touring Car Racing Club event. And then we welcome the Carbonate Lighting Hyundai Coupe Cup, designed for the newcomer to motor racing. 2-litre Hyundai Coupes, designed to be as close and competitive as possible. Great fun to race, great fun to watch. After that, we go into the afternoon with more truck racing. That's followed by the Hyundais again. The final truck race of the weekend, and finally the Junior Saloon cars end the weekend at around 3:45 tomorrow evening, possibly racing into the sunset here at Brands Hatch before the firework display closes out the weekend. Blustery but dry weather here in Kent. This is the motor racing circuit's nearest to London these days. Of course, we used to be able to go motor racing in London in the days of Crystal Palace. Now the only racing you'll find in London is the Formula E events every winter. So awaiting the recovery operation to take place then. Heavy artillery in place again, recovering Steve Thomas's MAN from the Paddock Hill gravel track. Hopefully that truck won't be too damaged and he can take his place on the grid for the restart. The rest of the drivers waiting patiently. Well, it's just about out of the gravel, we can see there the LJ Transportation 3-axle DAF recovery vehicle. Very impressive looking machines, these truck recovery machines. I remember Adam Bint's former sponsor, CMG Recovery, used to bring their massive 4-axle Kenworth recovery vehicle to truck shows. An enormously impressive, quite literally, machine that is. Certainly wouldn't miss it on the motorway. And, trucks like that recovery truck we see there. Steve Thomas does drive away, so it appears to be okay. Track will now be swept up by the marshals. If ever you're stuck on the motorway when there's been a lorry involved in an incident, it's recovery trucks like that that will be rescuing it. So fair play to our recovery teams and our marshalling team. As Steve Thomas makes his way round, we'll wait to see whether he goes into the pits or into back onto the grid in the half and half liveried HGV Direct Thomas's Haulage and Dines Recovery sponsored MAN. Good to have Steve back in the championship after a couple of years away. In fact, he's heading into the pits, so I think Steve Thomas out of this one, although he may, whether he'll join in when the race gets underway, we'll wait and see. Whether the scrutineers want to check over the 33 truck to make sure it's okay. The officials checking right under the front of it there, look. Probably checking that all the gravel has been swept out from underneath it. Would you get right underneath a truck like that? Certainly braver than me. So the officials have checked on Steve Thomas's truck there. We'll wait to see whether he's going to join in at the back. Almost ready then for another rolling start. Mark Taylor and Tom O'Rourke on the front row. This will be a 13-minute race now. As I say, when there's as we saw earlier, when there's a red flag, there's a bit of time knocked off the race. Of course, we have the early sunset to consider today as well. Again, we've got a couple of you asking on the YouTube comments about steam coming from the wheels on these trucks. It's because they use water-cooled brakes. And of course, when the water boils under heavy braking, it comes out as steam. So it's not a problem with the trucks when that happens. It's just the water coming off the brakes. Now, Steve Thomas is heading down the pit lane. Whether he's going to join in at the back, we'll have a look, because the rest of the pack are about to move away behind the Lenham Storage Mercedes. This will give Martin Gibson a bit of extra room to manoeuvre here. David Jenkins right behind him. Reminder in the championship that David Jenkins leads coming into this race in Division 1 by just 2 points ahead of Ryan Smith, with Martin Gibson a further 5 points back. 7 points covers the three of them. Ryan Smith looking for 6 titles in a row in Division 1. He's made no secret of the fact he is aiming to equal or better Stuart Oliver's record of 10. Stuart Oliver not starting this race after problems in race 1 in qualifying. Shane Brereton, now he's been involved in a bit more contact. I think his front bumper's hanging off again. There's the Flying Dutchman, Willem Bredek. We normally see Franz and Rodi Schmidt out at Brands Hatch as well, but not able to travel this year. Ready for take 2 with race 2 of the weekend with the British Truck Racing Championship over a slightly reduced distance of 13 minutes. Mark Taylor and Tom O'Rourke on the front row, Division 1, where Ryan Smith looks for 2 wins out of 2. Willem Bredek and Craig Evans head Division 2. Craig Reed just beaten by Jock Borthwick in the first race, will aim for victory this time. Coming round towards the red lights, and the pace truck pulls into pit lane, the Lenham Storage Mercedes. Will they all get round Paddock Hill Bend? For the first time of asking this time. Take 2 with Truck Race 2 this weekend. Keeping it steady up towards the red lights. They go out and the race gets underway. Good start by Tom O'Rourke down the outside in the number 86. He's going to take the Division 1 lead, but Mark Taylor is there on the inside up on the grass. There is Mark Taylor, so is John Newell. They've all made it round just about through Paddock Hill Bend. David Jenkins has gone wide over the gravel. Mind the tyres, he just clips the end of the tyre wall, but he's kept it going. Division 2 will be getting underway further back with Willem Bredek, the Dutchman, in the lead. They've all got round by the look of it as well up the hill into Druids. Craig Evans in second, Adam Bint on the outside line in third place, and there's Steve Thomas. He has been able to join in from the pit lane at the back. That's good to see. Tom O'Rourke, number 86, the man from southern Scotland, leads, losing one of his rear wheel arches there ahead of Mark Taylor, John Newell and Ryan Smith up into fourth place. So Flying Ryan has made his usual fast start in the Merc up into 4th place. Shane Brereton challenging on the back of Martin Gibson there for 5th place. David Jenkins, after that mistake on the first corner, is behind them. That could lose him the championship lead here potentially. See how things transpire as the race goes on, but Ryan Smith is fired up here, having a go at John Newell for 3rd place as they cross the line for the first time. Martin Gibson, his championship rival, right behind him, and Jenkins needs to get past Shane Brereton here in order to challenge them through the Big Dipper section. Down the drop through Paddock Bend up the inside of John Newell comes Ryan Smith. Oh, he's going to run wide on the exit. I thought he was going to go straight on there. Ryan just about gathers it up, but here comes Gibson. Gibson's got past both of them, and John Newell now leans on Shane Brereton. Well, Martin Gibson gains 3 places in there, and Jenkins into the side of somebody there. That was John Newell. I think he's muscled out wide onto the grass. Typical aggression from Dave Jenkins. He wants the championship, and Brereton's going to get through as well. John Newell, the big loser in all of that. So it is now O'Rourke and Taylor up front. Gibson is 3rd, Smith is still 4th, Jenkins is now 5th, then Brereton 6th, Newell's down to 7th and sliding all over the place. Look at the marks on the side of John Newell's truck. That's where he was shoved wide by David Jenkins through Graham Hill Bend. And now here comes Ryan Smith up onto the back of Martin Gibson. We'll pick up Division 2 in a moment. It's being led by Willem Bredick, the Dutchman. Down the roller coaster drop of Paddock Bend into the rise of Halewood Hill to Druids. Ryan Smith trying to go round the outside again. He so nearly went off into the gravel there last time through. That would have been a disastrous step for his championship hopes. He's lost out to one of his championship rivals. Martin Gibson for how much longer up the inside into Graham Hill Bend. He's going through. Smith up into 3rd place. Now with Jenkins 2 places back, this could leave them level on points depending on who gets fastest lap. And fastest lap at the moment though is with Gibson. There's the Division 2 group with Steve Thomas fighting his way through the middle of it, trying to get up with the Division 1 boys, chasing the mirror image liveried truck of Stephen Powell, number 3. Bradick leads Division 2 ahead of Adam Bint. Brad Smith up there in 3rd, best we've seen him run this year. Then Craig Evans, Craig Reed is 5th, and 6th in Division 2 is Stephen Powell. So 5th and 6th for the 2 championship. No, 5th and 7th, sorry, because Tony Smith is in there in 6th. Howell only 7th in Division 2, then Jock Borthwick and Simon Cole in the Mercedes Beast. Sadly not very beastly in this one, running wide through clearways there. Ryan Smith has caught our leaders. Gibson and Jenkins ride him, and Jenkins giving Gibson a tap there as they came out of Druids. Division 1 will be coming through Graham Hill Bend. Here they are, and Ryan Smith is ready to attack the 2 leaders, Tom O'Rourke and Mark Taylor. Jenkins all over the back, literally, of Martin Gibson. Smith up the inside there through into Surtees, but Mark Taylor holds him off. Mark Taylor, who started his career in truck racing as Ryan Smith's sponsor before taking up racing himself. He was a little bit wide there through clearways. This is Smith's opportunity to take 2nd place, and he won't need asking twice to go through the gap there. Side by side across the stripe. Still plenty of laps to go yet. Tom O'Rourke still leads. A couple of wins already this year. Through goes Smith into 2nd at Paddock Bend. So O'Rourke from Smith now, and Gibson and Jenkins are coming through fast in 4th and 5th. They're closing on Tom O'Rourke. Mark Taylor, Taylor in 3rd place. They're closing on Taylor, I should say. It's Tom O'Rourke with the lead. I always get those 2 trucks mixed up, similarly liveried MANs. Apologies there. Smith to the inside coming out of Graham Hill Bend. He could take the lead here with a bit of luck into Surtees. No, he's not close enough. Jenkins having another go at Gibson. And behind them, Shane Brereton wants a piece of this too. He's a regular in the European Truck Racing Championship these days. He's having a go, look at this, at David Jenkins. Has a look on the inside coming out of Clearways into Clark Curve, past the pit entrance. Jenkins, remember, is the championship leader. Meanwhile, Ryan Smith up the inside. They're side by side over the line. Smith's surely going to take the lead into Paddock Hill Bend, and Brereton's on the inside. He's going to take 5th from Jenkins as well. Oh, Mark Taylor out of shape. He tagged Tom O'Rourke. Smith had already gone through into the lead for the 2nd time today. O'Rourke was tagged there by Taylor. They're still 2nd and 3rd. Martin Gibson will take 3rd position here coming into Druids. Yes, he's up into 3rd place. Jenkins has held off Brereton, and John Newell's getting back into this as well. In Division 2, I can tell you Willem Bredick is still leading. We see him there in the background by a handsome margin as Craig Reed going for the outside on Adam Bint will pick up Division 2. Now, there's so much going on in Division 1. We haven't really seen Division 2 yet, but Adam Bint in the HVO fuel powered Volvo under fire from Craig Reed for second place in the division. But Willem Bredick still there leading Division 2. This is impressive. Then Bint, Reed, Brad Smith in fourth, Steve Thomas's Division 1 truck behind them. Then we've got Craig Evans, then Tony Smith, and Stephen Powell is quite a long way back. Well, Craig Reed really does have one hand on the trophy in Division 2. Now look at the damage there to Brad Smith's truck. He's hit something. Pick up the battle in Division 1 when we can. Ryan Smith with the lead now, and he's pulling away from Tom O'Rourke. Gibson, I can tell you, has got past Taylor up into third place. Steve Thomas side by side with Brad Smith. Of course, he's trying to recover from having started from the pit lane after he's off. That's a Division 1 truck going past the less powerful Division 2 DAF of Brad Smith. Willem Bredick still leads Division 2. Are we going to have a Dutch winner? Adam Bint still holding second. A superb defensive driver is Adam Bint. Ryan Smith still leads Division 1. He's just gone over the line to complete his 7th lap. There's Bredick in the Volvo. Here's Ryan Smith. And Martin Gibson's going for second place into Paddock Bend. David Jenkins is going for fourth. So it's at the line, it was Smith from O'Rourke, then Gibson, Taylor. And Steve Thomas has got past Craig Reed. Meantime, it's Druids. David Jenkins up the inside takes Mark Taylor, and Shane Brereton trying to follow him. Remember, Brereton's not in this. This is his first meeting in the UK this season. Battling with Mark Taylor there. Smith's cleared off in front. Everybody else is squabbling for second. What's the correct noun for a line of MANs? Because that's what we've got behind the Mercedes. An M25 of MANs, perhaps. The state of Shane Brereton's truck there. Possibly a legacy of his Race 1 crash. Tom O'Rourke still holding second here. This is allowing Ryan Smith to get away. Gibson can't get past him. Jenkins is fourth. We've got just over 4.5 minutes left as Gibson this time goes to the inside into Paddock Bend. There goes Ryan Smith. Gibson is through into second place. Here comes David Jenkins going for third on the inside at Druids, and he's going to go through. So the championship contenders now 1, 2 and 3. Not in the order David Jenkins would like. He's now going to attack Martin Gibson. The lead is nearly 6.5 seconds for Ryan Smith now. Oh, and sideways there, look at that. That was Mark Taylor. He was on full opposite lock coming into Graham Hill Bend there. Whether he got a push from John Newell, I didn't quite see. Behind them is Bradley Smith. And still ninth, and running ahead of the Division 2 boys is Simon Faulkner. He's learned quickly in his second truck meeting in the Reed Truck Sports Iveco. Martin Gibson now in second, Jenkins is third. O'Rourke's lost 3 places because Brereton has come through as well. Craig Evans getting sideways there as well. I wonder if there's a bit of fluid down at Graham Hill Bend. And still, Craig Reed can't get past Adam Bint. Therefore, still leading Division 2 is Willem Bredick by quite a handsome margin as well. They've got Steve Thomas in between first and second in Division 2, recovering after his pit lane start. And I think Willem Bredick has done enough here, breaking away. I think he's going to win Division 2. I hope I haven't just put the commentator's curse on him saying that. Hopefully we've got a few fans from the Netherlands watching on. Bint still holds on in the Volvo. Certainly that HVO fuel has made a difference this season, the more environmentally friendly fuel. It's proven effective for Adam Bint, he's had a great season. Here's the battle for second place in Division 1. Gibson, Jenkins, Brereton, O'Rourke, Taylor, Newell and Bradley Smith. 7 of them, 7 MANs, line astern. At a gap back there is Simon Faulkner, learning his craft in the Iveco. Ryan Smith has cleared off. He's 8.6 seconds clear now. He's going to make it 2 wins out of 2. He's got the fastest lap as well, 58.905. Jenkins running wide there, coming out of Graham Hill Bend. He's pushing as hard as he can to try and catch Martin Gibson for second. Certainly one of the most aggressive drivers in all of truck racing, David Jenkins. His father, Tony Jenkins, was a successful truck racer before him. Used to race an American Mack, I remember. Behind him, Shane Brereton. First thing I remember seeing him race was a Volkswagen Corrado in National Hot Rods on the short ovals. Behind him, Tom O'Rourke. Got into truck racing as a sponsor through his business MV commercials. Had a huge crash at Thruxton last season as we pick up the Division 2 action. Adam Bint still holding off Craig Reed. Now, who's got the fastest lap in Division 2? It is Craig Reed, I think. Yes, he's got the fastest lap, so he'll get the extra point there. There goes Willem Bredig. He still leads Division 2, and there you can see the gap. He's leading them by over 5 seconds. They're not going to catch Willem Bredig here. This is great from the Dutchman. He certainly is a flying Dutchman, isn't he? The Volvo F12, it's hardly state of the art. He made the break at the start, the rest battle behind him, a bit like the way Ryan Smith has done in the second half of this race. And he's heading for a Division 2 victory. Ryan Smith, meanwhile, is heading for Division 1 victory for the second time today, as Craig Reed side by side again with Adam Bint as he finally got the overlap here along Cooper Straits. He'll have the inside for Surtees. He's finally through, up into second in class, but there's only 30 seconds left on the clock now. Here comes Ryan Smith. Now, is it going to be checkered flag this time? I think it might. For number 1, Ryan Smith. Comes around clearways. It's going to be 2 wins out of 2, surely, for the Mercedes. He's in back marker traffic. He's got Jock Borthwick ahead of him. He's had a quiet race this time. It should be checkered flag this time. I think the clock just counting down to 0 as they come over the line. Yes, there is the checkered flag. Ryan Smith wins. And second place should be Martin Gibson. We'll wait for them to come over the line. Still the battle is on in Division 2. Brad Smith can sense a podium if he can get ahead of Adam Bint. Martin Gibson comes over in second in Division 1. David Jenkins is third. Then Brereton, O'Rourke, Taylor, Newell and Bradley Smith as quickly as that. Simon Faulkner will be next home. Steve Thomas has caught him. That shows the speed advantage of the Division 1 trucks. Oh, Simon Faulkner pressured into a mistake on the very last corner. And Steve Thomas will take 9th place. Great shame for Simon Faulkner there. Steve Thomas will take 9th. 10th, it is Simon Faulkner. And Willem Bredig coming over the line will win the Division 2 category. Well done to the Dutchman. Craig Reed will take 2nd in Division 2, but where is Stephen Powell? Where is Stephen Powell? He hasn't come in. In fact, he's finished a lap down and in last place. That's 9th in Division 2. There he is. So he must have hit a problem somewhere out of our sight. Stephen Powell finishes last. Now 9th in Division 2. That will score, let's work it out. Stephen Powell gets 7 points. And Craig Reed will get either 14 or 15. Let's just work out who got the fastest lap in Division 2. Craig Reed did get the fastest lap in Division 2, so he'll get 15 points. Let's give you the results then. We'll work out the points in a moment. Ryan Smith the winner by 10.7 seconds ahead of Martin Gibson, then a train of MANs behind Jenkins, Brereton, O'Rourke, Taylor, Newell and Bradley Smith. And Steve Thomas got 9th on the last corner ahead of Simon Faulkner in the Iveco. Willem Bredig takes a Division 2 win for Holland. Congratulations to him ahead of Craig Reed. And I believe, just by a preliminary calculation there, Craig Reed has done enough to wrap up the Division 2 title. Brad Smith taking 3rd in Division 2 ahead of Adam Bint. Simon Cole in the Mercedes completing the top 15 and 5th in Division 2. Behind him was Jock Borthwick, a quiet race for him that time. Then Tony Smith, Craig Evans, Stephen Powell finishing a lap down at the back. And I think that is enough to give the Division 2 title to Craig Reed. We'll work that out when I've done some mathematics in just a moment. Hopefully we can hear from some of our race winners down in Park to do a bit of mental arithmetic, and hopefully we can hand down to Ewan Dunlop in a moment.
Jumps down, once again gets congratulated by the team. And right, if we come out and allow the rest of the trucks to make their way back, so we're out of their way, and you're doing everything that you need to do. Well, that's the thing about all year, but we just had problems. But, you know, we just try to be clean, and we try to be fair, and we try, you know, not always give them back our work rate. As always, like that whole crowd that's come out, waving, and, you know, tomorrow's going to be a special day for everyone. We'll do what we can do. We need to do the facts while you're in the truck. Yeah, and I think I need to overtake you. No, I just want to be clean. I want to do this. Listen, if I do the best job we can do, and he's good enough, then he's good enough. If it isn't, then the better man will win on the day. Again, massive thanks to all crowd that's turned out today to support us and other series. Fantastic, I'm delighted. Nice work, Mark. Thank you very much indeed. As Martin Gibson's got out of his truck, as Jenkins got out of his truck, do we get the chances? Where's Jenkins? Where is he? Let's see if we can get a word with him. Is he still in the cab, or is he over here? Or is he going to take you back? Where's Jenkins? Where is he? Oh, this is John. Hello, Will. You're alright? There he is. Jenkins, just come out of the way, because I got told off by race controller. I don't like getting told off by race controller. Now, I can say nothing. That was there's a bit of woodwork after that one, isn't there? Yeah, a few flesh wounds, nothing serious. Brake really expensive with 2 laps to go when I was trying to chase Martin down, and then I had to just defend for my life to get in shape, but you know.
Right, so I've just been doing a little bit of mental arithmetic here in the commentary box. We saw Adam Bint's truck has pulled up there after the checkered flag, so that needs recovery. Truck's heading off towards Parc Fermé, so hopefully we'll hear from our race winners shortly. There's a maximum, right, I can tell you, there's a maximum from the 3 remaining races of 48 points available if you win and get fastest lap in all of them. And I can tell you, with Stephen Powell finishing so far down the order in Division 2 in that one, and Craig Reed finishing second and getting fastest lap, he now leads the points by 61 by my calculation. In other words, provisionally, Craig Reed is Division 2 champion. Congratulations, Craig Reed, the man from Stoke-on-Trent in the Iveco Stralis. That's his first championship win. That is provisionally confirmed. In Division 1, meanwhile, Ryan Smith, your winner, and fastest lap. He gets 16. Martin Gibson second, he got 14. And David Jenkins third, he scored 13. So that means, with 3 races to go tomorrow, Ryan Smith has just taken the lead of the championship by 1 point, ahead of David Jenkins. Martin Gibson is 6 points further back. So it's between those 3 for the title. There's 6 points covering the 3 of them. 7 points, sorry, covering the 3 of them. We are in for a real showdown here tomorrow at Brands Hatch. There is Willem Bredig. Hopefully we'll hear from him. And there's provisionally the new champion behind him, Craig Reed. Well done, Shane Brereton. His one-off appearance in the British Championship here. 4th place there. And failed to finish race 1. There's 10 points in it for 4th in Division 1 between John Newell and Mark Taylor now. Stuart Oliver, of course, no points today so far. Borthwick with 10 points there is now joint 5th in Division 2 behind Craig Evans and Adam Bint, who are still 3rd and 4th. It's all working out then with 3 races to go tomorrow. Well, that does conclude our on-track action here today from day 1 at Brands Hatch, and we will hear shortly from some of our truck racers, hopefully before we sign off for today. We'll be back with you tomorrow with tomorrow at around 10 to 11 we have our first race of the British Truck Racing Championship, reverse grid being used again for tomorrow's race based on the results of the race we've just seen. Then we have our second touring car handicap race, which is going to be complete chaos. Then we have the Carbonate Lighting Hyundai Coupe Cup, their final race weekend of the year. Some very quick drivers in that, the likes of father and son Wayne and Johnny Rockets. Alex Kersley in what will be his final weekend in the Coupe Cup as well. They'll be worth watching. The British Truck Racing Championship follows that at 1 p.m. Then we've got the Hyundais again. Final truck race of the season, and then the Junior Saloon Car Championship to close out the season. The championship provisionally decided already in favour of Charlie Hand after his win earlier on. So congratulations to him and to Craig Reed, the provisional champion in the British Truck Racing Division 2 as well. Just waiting to hand down to Park Ferme then with Adam Bint's truck. You can just see there at Paddock Bend being towed in. He came to a halt after the flag. Take this opportunity to say a big thank you to our Orange Army, the volunteer marshals. They've been kept busy today, certainly. Couldn't go racing without our volunteer marshals. The Classic Touring Car Racing Club racing in aid of them this weekend as a thank you. Of course, many of you will know of the very sad incident that's happened at Brands Hatch earlier this year in a Classic Touring Car Racing Club event, which tragically claimed the life of volunteer marshal Robert Foote. Classic Touring Car Racing Club racing in his memory this weekend. Remember Robert, and also wish all the best to Simon Beamont, racer and sponsor of the CTCRC, still on the mend from incident earlier this season. We wish him all the best. I think we can now hand down to Ewan Dunlop in Park Ferme, who's ready to talk to some of our truck racers.
So what a day of British truck racing, fantastic stuff at the top of both championships. We're going to speak to Craig Reed in a second, but first of all let's speak to our Division 2 winner, and it's a name not many of you might know, but this is Willem. Congratulations, Willem.
This is Willem. Thank you.
So for people that don't know you and haven't seen you racing in British truck racing, what are you doing over here this afternoon?
Sorry?
So we've not seen you in many other championship races,
no,
but you've joined us this afternoon.
Yes, no, yesterday we were also here. But this is the first weekend this year.
Fantastic.
Last year we were at Truxton and we should come to Brands, but Brands was cancelled that time.
But you clearly enjoy Brands Hatch.
Yeah. It's a good circuit.
And how was the race for you?
Yeah, very good this time.
Yeah.
The last race was not so good, but this was a good race.
But
the car was very good.
When you got out in front, you controlled that really comfortably. You could. Craig Reed, our championship winner now, couldn't catch you. Adam Bint couldn't catch you. You were smooth as silk.
Yeah, I had a good rhythm. I gone nearly the same time every lap. So, yeah.
So you're going to enjoy your evening and come back and do the same again tomorrow?
Yeah.
William, congratulations, well done. Thank you. Right, let's have a chat with Craig Reed, who I understand, and we knew anyway, is going to be our championship winner. Here he is. Well done, mate. I've heard on the earpiece that is officially championship, so absolutely fantastic. Now, one thing to talk about, that race there, although you've won this quite comfortably, this championship, that showed how competitive British Truck Racing is in Division 2.
Yeah, very much so. Honestly, that was, I'll be honest with you, Adam did not make it easy. He's very, very good round here. The same with Steve. And I just couldn't find a gap past him. And I had to go round the outside of him, and it was just who dare brakes, who was going to brake first, and it was just, oh man, he was, to be honest with you, blew it out. I do shake his hand because he drove very well, to be honest with you.
And fair play, Willem, not been with us too many times, but to win, and you couldn't, well, I think maybe it was Adam holding you back. Oh, well, have you got one of those for me? Couldn't catch him. Had a great race, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, honestly, brilliant. To be honest with you, he got some clear air, and as soon as I got past Adam, I was on the hunt then, but he was just a little too good with that red flag. But no, well done. They've done, to come over here, it's a lot of work, you know what I mean? They've done very well.
Now, this is your championship. Congratulations to you. What are you going to do tonight?
Celebrate, I think. Very, very, I'm going to have a late night. I never have a late night at truck racing because I'm too busy, being on the ball in the morning. But yeah, tonight's going to be a late one.
And people might ask, winning the championship by that many points, Division 1, in your thoughts?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we're going to have a talk with the team and the sponsors. If we can get our three main sponsors, as I say, Diagraph, Morris Lubricants and Guest, and OK Trucks, they've helped us massively this year. Without them, we honestly couldn't do it. And if we can come back as a two-truck team with my brother next year, that's our plan.
Fantastic. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow, but well done on your championship victory. Cheers, Craig. Right, now, what happened with the Division 1 cars? A few of them stopped in the pit lane instead of coming back to Parc Ferme. So we're happy to have a little walk around and see who we can find, because I did see Jock Borthwick. We've got Simon Cole here. Of course, we want to speak to the top three. We want to speak to Ryan Smith. We want to speak to Dave Jenkins. And we want to speak to Martin Gibson. Top three in Division 1 and top three in that race. Now, in my maths, and Dave Guard might have said similar or slightly different, I think that gives Ryan Smith a 1 point lead in the championship. And if we can find one of them, we'll absolutely have a chat. There is your leader at the start of the day, Dave Jenkins. Camera Allen, can we make our way through this melee of people? We'll give it a go. Can we get in behind him? Thank you very much. Oh, we're covered in wires. Let's have a look and see if we can have a chat. Dave, can we get a chat? I'm just trying to weave my way in here. Do a little Martin Brundle. Can we have a quick chat?
Yes,
cheers, Dave.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Dave, great day of British Truck Racing.
Yeah, if you say so.
So, looking at the points now, I haven't seen it officially by BARC, but I think there's 1 point now between you and Ryan, we think.
Yeah.
Incredibly close. Going into tomorrow, did you do anything to change the setup? Were you happy with it, how it's been going?
We've been gently working with it all day and made an improvement throughout the day. So boys worked really hard between race 1 and 2, sorted the brakes out. So we had a mechanical failure at the end of that race then. Yeah, so...
what happened?
Just a torque reaction arms broken on the back axle. It might have been something to do with the driver unleashing 5,000 newton metres of torque on the grass at the time, but I'm good enough to blame the kit, yeah. So, we'll see how the results stand in a minute. I think there's a little bit of sorting out to do in the clerk's office, and then we'll come out fighting tomorrow.
I mean, it's going to be another brilliant day, and it's building up to be a classic British truck racing season. So the three of you are at the top three in that race. It's perfect for the spectators, and we've got a full house coming tomorrow as well.
No, it's great for the spectators, and it's great for the sport, and it's not too bad to be involved in it as a driver just at the moment. So it could be anybody's tomorrow. Ryan's clearly got a tiny little bit of pace advantage today, but we've shut that down as the day's gone on. And one mistake from somebody, and that'll be that.
The red flags are a couple today. Frustration or just something you've got to deal with?
Oh, upset with the second red flag. I'd had a blinding start. I'd passed Ryan, passed Martin Gibson, passed Ryan, and I was just about to get on with the race. So a bit upset with the first red flag, but that's just that, isn't it?
Dave, have a great evening. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. All right.
Cheers,
Ray. Thank you very much. Right, we'll have a very, very quick look round the paddock, see if there's anybody else we can speak to. But I think Ryan, Now, Dave mentioned there's a couple of things going on again with the clerk of the course. We've seen that a lot across the weekend, so we will find out. If we can't get Ryan tonight, we'll speak to him tomorrow, and we'll do the same with Martin Gibson. Is Martin right here? Come on. Martin, how was race number 2 for you?
Really good, considering. A bit of a mad start, but cleared out towards the end. I couldn't obviously catch Ryan, but kept it clean and brought it back.
And going into tomorrow, I think there's still only 5 points between the top 3 with 3 races to go. Obviously, there's only 1 point difference between first, second and third in these races. There's a lot of maths to do, isn't there? This could come down to the final race tomorrow.
I'll let you worry about that.
What'd you get up to tonight?
Don't know, a few strip clubs, something like that. No.
Anything to do with the truck? What are you going to get up to? I mean, can you tweak any extra performance out of it overnight?
Well, we haven't got an alternator on it at the moment. We're enough pure battery. So I finished that race with 10 volts left in it.
Wow.
So getting the electrical vehicle experience at the moment. So we've got to sort that out. It's not an alternator problem, it's something we can't find yet. So without solving that, we're a bit stuck tomorrow.
Well, good luck. Have a great evening. We look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. It's going to be a fantastic day. Cheers, Martin. And we're finally going to get...
I made a whiplash claim against Gitty Tyres.
No, hang on. Just say that again. What have you done?
I'm just about to put a claim in for whiplash against Martin Gibson. He didn't see the red flag, and I'd already seen it, and I thought, oh, dunk, and I was like, oh, good race. Pace was good. Picked them off one by one. Was patient on the start. Scared when I got hit because I thought it'd done some damage, but seemed it were all right. Yeah.
Did the red flag benefit you? Because I think Dave Jenkins just said he sort of jumped you and Martin the first time round.
Not really, because I was always going to close in on him anyway. I've got that fight and hunger, but it's just the voices in your head about his truck making right noises, his engine okay. Good spectacle for people watching at home and people in the crowd. We just need to carry on doing what we're doing. We don't need the contact and the damage with people. So I'm really, really trying to drive, holding some back, but I think we're leading the championship now, so that's a first since Donington. I think it's by 1 point, if you got a fastest lap on that one as well. 1 point, but what happens is people start driving erratic, and people are doing erratic things. It's last meeting. I don't want somebody else to decide my championship, I want me to, so try and keep it clean, keep it correct, and see where tomorrow night brings us. So how do you approach tomorrow? Because if you've got a 1 point lead with 3 races to go, are you being aggressive or are you looking after your truck in the first race tomorrow? I think it'd be stupid to be aggressive because we've got the pace. If we didn't have the pace, I'd have to be aggressive on the start and defend. We've got the pace. So I think be patient on the start, pick who we can pick off. Fastest lap is honestly, I set the fastest lap 5 laps in. That's my banker point. I try and go for that. So important. But tomorrow I think caution. Caution. Leave it to the last race. If I need to do something on the start, I'll be aggressive. But I don't want to damage anybody else's truck. I'd never set out to damage anybody else's truck. I don't want to damage my own. We ain't got the budget. Probably got the smallest budget within Division 1, but we've got a lot of art, we've got a lot of desire, and we've got a good, great team behind us. So with everyone's help, and if it all goes well tomorrow, we could be champions. But if not, we know we come here maximum and try to do everything we can. And if it wasn't for Donington, we'd have won it already. Now, we saw twice today, once you get in the lead, you go away, and nobody can catch you. I'm just petrified of all the penalties. So Arnie, my main mechanic and my data guy, come on the radio and said, save the truck, back off, save the brakes, cool the truck down. I said, no, I'm going to go for 10 seconds in case anything happens. Any penalties, I've covered it. And I got 10.5. So, listen, the truck was behaving well, still slippy out there. I did all right. The team's working very hard. There's a lot of people behind the scenes who's putting the effort in. I'd like to say thank you to everyone at home, our sponsors, and all the spectators that have been here to watch us today. Tomorrow's going to be fireworks. I hope it's just off track. Ryan, congratulations, mate. Well done. Fantastic day. And that is going to sum up our day 1 here at Brands Hatch. 3 races to come tomorrow to decide Division 1. There's still 3 drivers in there. But for now, for the final few words, back to Dave Goddard.
Thank you very much indeed to Ewan Dunlop down in the paddock and Parc Ferme today. That does just about wrap up our coverage from Brands Hatch for today. We'll be back with you at around 11:15 tomorrow to kick off racing with the British Truck Racing Championship. Plus support, that's followed by the Classic Touring Car Racing Club All-Comers Racing for Marshals, their second handicap race of the weekend. We've got Carbonate's Hyundai Coupe Cup, 2 races for them, sandwiching the penultimate truck race of the weekend. The last one follows the second Hyundai race, and then we close out with the final Junior Saloon Car Championship race of the season. So that's all coming up tomorrow. That just about wraps up today's coverage then. Thank you to everyone here at Brands Hatch, the volunteer marshals, the recovery crews, the medical staff, race control staff and everybody else for their hard work today, and to our camera crews as well for bringing us the action. We hope you can all join us again tomorrow morning for more truck race and car race action on the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. We hope the weather stays dry for us as well. Great racing we've had today, 2 champions already crowned and another to be crowned tomorrow. The Classic Touring Cars and the Hyundais of course don't race for points, so there won't be champions crowned there. All the champions have already been crowned in Classic Touring Cars. They're racing just for fun and to raise money for the Orange Army here this weekend. Still our champion to be crowned. Which of the 3 will it be in Division 1 for the trucks? Division 2, Craig Reed has already provisionally taken the title, and Charlie Ham provisionally in the Junior Saloon Cars 2. Join us tomorrow to find out who's going to take the Truck Division 1 title and for more great racing here at Brands Hatch. But until then, this is commentator Dave Goddard signing off here on BARC TV. From all of us here at Brands Hatch, thanks for watching for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.